clean with Seoul, like trying to just find angles and taking fights appropriately, and then at the end, just a brawl of epic proportions.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes just like, right, arm wrestle right now. Here, the strongest. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's gonna get messy. Beers are gonna go flying. But you know, you're gonna figure it out in the end. Seoul Dynasty right now is maybe what they've got on mind right now. Just get in there and show that you have the raw skill on top of the coordination.
Well, lucky day. We're going to Gardens here. And this is where you see a lot of DPS come out. Seoul ran it yesterday. Right now, it looks like the Spark want to try their hand at it as well. All right, we've got DPS on the side of the Spark. We got a Sombra, a Widow, and a Tracer, of all things. Never mind, going back to spawn.
Yeah, they saw it. They saw it.
Boo! The crowd is booing. Boo!
Are they?
No, they're not.
Dude, I mean, the thing is that it's tough. It's tough if you're going to run damage.
Yeah, you're just putting yourself behind the 8-ball.
Yeah.
Even if you tried for one fight and you lose, then you have to switch. Like you're already like almost giving up that stage.
Just playing the game on hard mode.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what it is.
And it was
They've
also
gone
probably
complete.
just a read from the Spark thinking that Seoul was going to come out with a FAR or something along those lines. So that read not there. So back to traditional 3-3 compositions here. Marvel is on the Winston, so he gets killed immediately. That's rough.
Yeah, that's not going to be great because the support is not there. Fitz is once again hanging on by a thread. He does barely survive it, but that might not be for long. Munchkin is gone. And it's looking like, okay, they will be able to sneak on back over to their spawn, Seoul Dynasty. But this still means that Hangzhou Spark will get first control.
Yeah, Marvel was pushed off of the Winston onto the Reinhardt now, so he's going to start his ultimate charge at 0%. When you're on that Winston, you expect to get the Primal Rage first and just start doing a ton of damage. It was not the case, so now it is Seoul behind it now, across the board on ultimates, as the Spark nearly have every single one of them.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, the six-pack's about to get cracked open here for the Spark. They're going to have a good time. So, we've seen them do more with less in the past. First point comes to mind.
Yep, rallies come out both sides.
We're going to have to just go charging into each other, see who can get what online the quickest. There's a grab already. That's going to be the opening. Marvel pins it. Godspeed gets his grab eaten by Michelle. Both of these divas are awake right now. Just eating up ults. That's 1 for 1 right now so far on both sides.
Yeah, this one's over except for the cleanup. Complete team wipe there for Seoul. Should be able to take control of the point at about 55% here. 56.
I wouldn't really say 1 for 1 in that case. It's like 1 and 1, I guess.
Yeah.
They've each eaten 1. We're going to keep tabs on this, you know, just because that's going to be the score line at the end.
And
Diva's the grabs.
Diva's finally starting to get the appreciation she deserves in the league. And we talked about, I mean, you saw Choi Hyobin probably win them fights single-handedly for the Shock in her last matchup.
Yeah.
These Divas are so important in this meta. You're doing more than anyone can even see and appreciate, really.
Isn't it the case that she's most important in every meta?
Kind of.
Pretty
good hero.
Just pretty good. Diva, doing the things, doing many things that lead to W's. Straight up fight now on both of these sides. Michelle decides to open it up with the self-destruct. Marvel barely surviving. Throws that shatter out there. That probably saved his life. Crystal gets laid out for a nap. Self-destruct into the back line. No capitalizing on it though. Marvel still alive, and somehow we've lost Rhea. Not able to get the reback. You take those risks at your own, at your own peril.
This is what happens when you use the Transcendence before Graviton. You would just... The Zarya waits, sees your light fade, and then takes your light out of existence.
Okay,
as well.
Fitz, I think Fitz deserves a good talking to after this one. If him getting greedy and getting boofed off to the side of the bridge costs his team the point, he's got a long way to run back in.
Yeah.
Spark know it.
They need to press the issue.
Oh, they really do. Fitz, that is a costly mistake.
It's back now, just barely back now. But you just had to sacrifice all the positioning for it too.
Yeah,
Zetter
really
comes down, doesn't get much.
That
That grab cleaned it up though, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that's unforced error. Unforced error. I mean, granted, IDK's got to be in position to boop him off. Fair enough. But Fitz, what are you doing out there, mate? That's a costly mistake. So, 87% on the board for Seoul Dynasty. Spark have got 64.
Yeah. Seoul is one fight away from taking this. By the time the fight happens, it might be our last fight of the match, considering the percentages. See what important things we have online. Self-destruct is there. It's been used a lot more often lately just to open up space. Baby's got Transcendence. A couple other ults should get online. More importantly, Seoul has the tank ultimates about ready to go. If they play this slowly enough, which they have time to do, they should get Shatter and Grav online.
Close enough. I mean, nobody wants to show anything on the Spark side.
You don't want to give targets for them to charge ults.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is what the name of the game is. Well, there we go. Self-destruct out, trying to open it up. Out in the open they are. Sound barrier forced, and they haven't really even taken the damage yet here, so that's a big one. Munchkin, though, you got to hang in there, and the sound barrier perfectly timed from Tobi to keep his teammates up. Munchkin nearly bites the dust, but that's the rally and the sound barrier in play now for Seoul Dynasty.
Yes, Grav's going to win it, though.
This is going to be so solid. You're right. There's nothing to counter it. There's nothing to stop it from wrecking house, especially because Crystal goes down. No rally now for the Spark. Seoul Dynasty looking great.
Yeah, don't even need the Grav. They're just killing everyone in front of them. The Grav could be used as a lockout here once they gain control of the point at 95 and counting up. And now it's just a lone Rhea on the point. Gonna self-destruct, maybe live.
Maybe. Nope,
Shatter!
Not gonna happen. Huge shatter, but no follow-up. Not enough at least. And wow, okay, just a solo on Gushui there. Fine, fair enough.
Yeah, you gotta do it. You have to use ults to try to get yourself back into it.
That's big plays from Fitz, at least, you know, hoping. Nearly finds it with the trance is in here from Baby. This is some sick stagger. They're back in here, 5 on 5. There's a chance Spark could turn it around here.
Yeah, it's just taking way too long for Seoul to finish off these last kills, and now they have an advantage of taking out Marvel.
Unreal. They might have actually done it to Spark. They might have flipped it back. We may be going into a tied situation here. Jaehong decides now's the time to trance, trying to keep his team up. Marvel swaps to the hamster to get back into the team all the quicker. Ooh. And what is that? Gushui goes up to a self-destruct.
This one's still anyone's fight, though. Sound barrier gets online and goes off immediately. Godspeed equalizes it. I don't even know what's happening.
It's just going back and forth. Unbelievable. Baby's still here. How does this happen? Godspeed. I mean, Baby's just getting trances every 40 seconds at this point. The fight never ends. Out and out chaos. It's a repeat of the first point in this series, just going back and forth. It's an out and out brawl, Hex. You can't kill anything.
Mine's on the point. It does seem like maybe this is the tipping point for Seoul, but 2. Actually, Michelle goes down, gets DMAC. There's still plenty of people alive on the point. Primal Rage is out now.
All right, this is bonkers. Now Munchkin has got for the rally, going to be getting back in here, and Seoul looking like they're going to stabilize. Seoul have actually got 4 alive on the point. With good focus here, they can end it. Rhea goes down to the mines. This should be the moment now where they are able to finish this point, finish this map, and yes, Seoul Dynasty stabilize after what feels like the longest fight all season. 2-0 on the first map of the series. They take the lead.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
There we have it, the Seoul Dynasty showing that they've came to play today. Hex 1-0 lead over the Hangzhou Spark. It was looking a little dicey there at the end, but they got the job done.
Yeah, the record can be kind of deceptive for Seoul, too. They've lost to Vancouver a bunch. They've had to play them a lot. It's been kind of unfair. You kind of just throw out the Vancouver record and you look at everything else. Like, you throw out Vancouver and Chuck say, yeah, you lost. Like, there's even teams which will be like, we're not preparing for this, we're not preparing for that because we're going to lose those games. IDK had himself a very, very good match. Let's see what kind of on-air presence he has as he will be joining the Watchpoint crew later this evening. Definitely stick around for that one.
Gonna be looking forward to a good grilling. You know, hey man, you get the pros on there. You gotta ask them the questions. Hard-hitting questions. They can't escape, right? So take advantage.
Well, we'll see if he's coming off a win or a loss when he does hit that desk. The first map went the way of the Seoul Dynasty. Very, very close, though. About as close as it gets. Yeah. That last fight went on really long, and there was a phrase we used to use when we were casting the Chinese Overwatch Premier Series called Chinese Overwatch. And it's when you don't finish fights and control lasts forever, because that's kind of the style of that region, just the focus calling not there on both sides there.
I kind of want to throw Fitz under the bus, though, just because of that solo grab on Gushui, who had like 10 HP. Yeah. Like, dude, you could have got a bit more value out of that grab, maybe. That might have been something where you snag 2 and you end it. Yeah, whatever. You know, nitpicking, hindsight.
He had some interesting plays, to say the least.
Well, both of these Zaryas are kind of looking a little, touch and go right now.
Shaky. Let's put Godsby on Genji again, please.
Well, let's get into it then. All right, any change of strategy? Doesn't look like it. We're going to have Ryans on both sides, no Winstons for the moment. I mean, Spark are the ones who could obviously go back and change if they felt like it, but it doesn't look like there's a reason. They're just going to go ahead and start marching their way forward. This map type is all about picking up 2 points. You have the first point, A point, which is right here through these doorways, and then second point, so you get 2 points possible on each offensive round.
Yeah, just taking their time right now, trying to find the correct angle here and seeing if they can pick out a target to focus on. That is Diva versus Devo, but the Discord Orb is going to make short work of Rhea as he takes extra damage from the little purple balloon above his head. That's a little rough start, and Hangzhou back to the drawing board.
Yeah, that was as good as it gets, especially when you can cut your other Diva out.
Oh, they even get Bebe late.
There we go. We don't get the gong every now and then.
No, the team kill gong right there. That is one push already down. Now we're down to 3 minutes. You know, some of these slow setup offenses take you about a minute per attack. They got 0 kills there to Seoul 6, so now they're behind it as far as the ultimate charges go. Seoul's going to start having the big abilities online.
Oh, he's got a golden opportunity there, Marvel. We'll see. There it is. Shatter just thrown out, looking to capitalize. Just getting in there. Hammers is swinging. And despite it all, they get run over completely, Seoul Dynasty. What happened there? Feels like we need the slow-mo replay.
Yeah, he went for the charge, but it was the damage that came through. Bebe used Transcendence. They just have a different order of operations for when they want to use Transcendence. Because I can't imagine that it's Bebe making mistakes this often. Usually you want to hold it for the grab. Sparks seem to have a different style where they want one of their other supports for the Graviton Surge. Right. So they just roll through there with an immense amount of healing and Transcendence, and by the time it fades, Fitz is already running for the hills trying to get out of there because his whole team is dead.
That was definitely eye-opening. I thought Marvel was going to just lay him out and that would be it, another failed push for the Spark, but instead we find ourselves here, familiar territory, Hex, the balconies on the second point.
Yeah.
Pretty much the only way to get through. You got to take advantage of the high ground. There's the grab, bringing them all in for a bear hug. Marvel going to splatter Gushui up against the wall, and that is going to be the reset call here for the Spark.
Yeah, they're going to have to try to get out now. Someone's going to have to sacrifice themselves to try to make some space for the important members to retreat. Unable to do so, though. Fitz just lobbing in nades. They lost Godsby during that fight, so he's going to have 0 charge. Lucio Taxi Service goes back to first point to bring them back up to the fight.
Beep, beep.
Nearly 6 ultimates online for Hangzhou. And Seoul matching them, but it's the lack of Graviton Surge for Seoul that should be concerning going into the next engagement.
Well, there we go. Hangzhou right in. Rally, rally. Both sides, Munchkin and Crystal using their ultimates, buffing up their teammates, getting that armor going. Nice little knock back there to get Spark off the high ground. Sound barrier used. They're really throwing everything in on this side.
Marvel down first, though.
May do it.
Yeah, there's no shield. Marvel's down, so of course you're going to die to that self-destruct.
Yeah,
Hangzhou putting some pressure on.
Yeah, exactly. 1 tick pick, 2 ticks, and man, they may be able to pick the third real quick. Michelle able to dash on in. Marvel.
Can get there. Both support ultimates were up, so they're in a great position here. Still have sound barrier to use as well.
Thing is that Fitz now, is he going to be able to get the grab off? Yeah, he's just going to throw it out there, and he hits absolutely nada, niche, nothing. That's not good, because that is going to be the spark, picking up both points here. Very quick offense from them. A lot of pink in the kill feed.
They're finding the windows. They're using the support ultimates at strange times, but they seem to make it work. This Spark is not the most predictable team, but that's what makes them so fun to watch. We'll watch some more right after this break.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
So the Hangzhou Spark putting the Seoul Dynasty on blast. Hex letting them know that they are here to play. Seoul Dynasty picked up the first map in this series, but it was scrappy. Here on the offense, Gushui, he led the Spark through on a very quick attack.
Yeah, of course he made his name in the World Cup play, got an tryout here for one of our new expansion teams, the Hangzhou Spark, and he has been the Spark at main tank that they have needed. But that, I was just so impressed with the support play, trying to. I mean, you know, Bebe IDK putting up their all-star kind of numbers. Get your all-star tickets at axs.com/OWL to watch the best of us live at the Blizzard Arena!
Yeah, watch the talent takedown. That's what it's all about.
That's always
presented by T-Mobile, of
yeah.
course. But talent takedown, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
Hex.
It's
it's going to be bloody. It's going to be brutal. It's so brutal, in fact, that they had to nerf us this year.
Yeah. It's been so aptly named because if you walk around here, you do understand that a lot of the talent needs to be taken down a peg. It's like, come on, you're not that important. Stop taking selfies. Do your job.
Just talk about the game.
The funny thing is, like, 4 people probably think I'm talking about them right now.
It's brutal, mate. It's brutal.
All right. Second verse, same as the first. But no Reinhardt on the side of the Hangzhou defense here. Going to play the Winston instead. This is really important to try to get a lot of damage in early on. Well, Winston on both sides, actually.
Yeah, Winston's all over the place.
Yeah.
No Rhines this time, no stomping around. It's going to be just leaping.
It's who gets Primal first, really, is the big battle that you're going to try out here. Early on, Marvel tried to jump in, got knocked away. The support line peeling well for itself for Hangzhou. Sitting up top there. This time they'll get the bubble. They've got an isolation.
Oh, this is getting a bit dicey. Fitz once again. It really does feel like Fitz is getting just the majority of the focus here from the Spark.
Yeah.
He is not having any room to work with in terms of just staying alive to melt. It's a bit fun to see just because we've seen Marvel. He goes leaping in. The guy's just fine. It's Fitz who's getting pummeled. They're like, who cares about the Winston over here? Just kill that Zarya.
Yeah, the Discords have been really spot on for just knowing which target to isolate. You know, on that very first push from Hangzhou, when they were able to win it, it was because the shield dropped, they discorded and delete the Rhine. This time, they're just finding the targets. Primal Rage is up for the defensive Winston here. And, yeah, landing denied as Marvel goes in and just gets knocked away.
Opening kill on Rio, though, is not going to help things here for the Spark. We lose Marvel. Eventually, they got the job done. But now we're going to be set up on point here for Seoul. All armored up as well. Crystal going to go ahead and do the same for her team. for his team. It's Brigitte, whatever. And then we're just going to get the battle here on the point. Jaehong going to get ejected bodily by Crystal. Crystal just running a mech right now. Bit of the aggro Brigitte.
Yeah. Support hero, by the way. Does a lot of damage there. They will take down Tobi at the end. And they did that all little underhanded here. So they had to get Rhea back in the mix, but completely stabilized. We're under 2 minutes here. And Seoul is going to have to push into a Graviton, self-destruct available. They have more ultimates. So Seoul in position to be able to take point A. But these first kills have been so brutal and really slowing Seoul down.
It's really limiting Fitz and his ability to get energy up to start actually dealing some damage.
Primal in, off the edge.
And there we go. Grav has been thrown somewhere.
No, it was in the back. It was trying to get Marvel, who had jumped in with Primal. They had a couple isolations, but were unable to kill it.
It's just all the ults right now, back and forth. Sound Barrier gets used here by Seoul Dynasty. They're doing a good job of sticking together. Jaehong with the trance is going to keep everybody healthy. But the same can be said for the Spark. They're overlapping these ults well, really buying it out. And now Gushui gets to go in with the Primal and start trying to cut Seoul Dynasty in half.
Yeah, just a solo out there to try to buy some time, gets all the health pool, knocks him about. Fight's still going, though.
It's just, these are unending fights, actually, Hex. These just feel so long before somebody makes a kill, before there's an actual focus.
Is Rhea gonna
you
get
used
out?
all of your ults, and you've got nothing. Although Rhea, yeah.
Almost got out, though.
So close, you're right. So there you go. You got one kill. You got one.
Where did that grab go? Right there in the center. Are they going to counter-grab this? Nope, they're going to die and give up point A.
So the longest, most confusing fights eventually results in a win here for Seoul Dynasty with 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, the very first fight, Marvel went in with Primal Rage, and he had both supports isolated in the backline. I thought he was going to make Zen into a metal balloon off the edge, but just barely unable to get that last hit because they threw a grab at him. We didn't quite have the perspective of it. But this is still a pretty solid defense for Hangzhou. You see the time left in their bank from their offense already greater than what Seoul has left. Seoul just has to be concerned of actually taking the point. They don't really have the ultimates to try to snowball this one in. Marvel's very likely going to use his ultimate and then switch.
Oh, there we go. Grab immediately. Perfectly done. Going to be so one-sided that Seoul aren't going to get much ult charge off of this. That was brutal. Perfect.
Yep, it's about as good as it gets right there. So Godsby having a better Zarya game than he had on the previous maps.
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even then, you're talking about 53% average energy. I mean, at least Fitz has brought it up. He was at 34% for a while. Now he's back up to 43% average energy. But still, that's still so low compared to some of the other beast Zaryas that you see in the league.
It's been somewhat lackluster.
Not everybody can be Sinatra, though. I understand.
Oh, but we should all aspire to be.
We should all aspire. Sinatra is super. Well, straight on through all the fights. Seoul Dynasty using the sound barrier.
Well, Primal's going to lock that door. They try to come up the stairs, unable to do so. However, all said and done, no one dead yet.
Oh, they're all over the place now. As you say it, though, you cursed them, Hex. Gushui goes down. Crystal as well. 2 kills, but Seoul are not very quick at picking up, at closing him out. And this could still favor the Spark in the sense that they can still contest.
Rhea tried so hard to get away in pilot mode, but he ends up going down after his self-destruct goes up there. This should be okay for the moment. Gushui needed to pop Primal. That's what I was going to say. It should have been okay. He had Primal.
He had Primal. He should have been able to do it, but the stun and the focus fire, too good there from Seoul Dynasty. Turns out when the target stands still, you can get the kill after all. And so, Spark now in a tight spot. Gushui's going to get a second shot at it now, though, because he has a sound barrier. Now he can go for the Primal. Yeah, goes Primal.
You just have to get 1 kill as the defense. You see how close these spawns are. You need to knock Jaehong away from his team, hopefully, in the Primal, but he was up in the air, couldn't do it. Still no kills have come out yet. You need to start seeing pink in that kill feed.
Oh, buddy, there it is. Fitz with the grab. That's going to mow him down. That might be enough, although Bebe with the perfectly timed trance, going to buy a little bit more, but that's going to be it. Seoul Dynasty tying it up to 2-2 and really working for it.
It hasn't been clean, but it has been fun to watch and scrappy. It has been kind of dirty. Both teams need to get that focus fire on and clean up the matches a little bit.
28 kills for Seoul, 27 for Hangzhou. That's as close as it gets. So it's been scrappy. Hex, we ended with that. Pretty much even in terms of kills.
Yep.
These teams, these players all performing at about the same level as well. So this is about as even as it gets in a match of Overwatch. So tough to tell who's going to come out ahead.
Yeah, that was, as you mentioned, as close as it gets. What isn't close, though, now that we go into our extra innings here of Hanamura, is the time bank these teams will have to work with. Seoul, with lesser time, is going to be attacking first, under 2 minutes. When it's the Sparks' turn, they will have over 4 minutes to attack. So definitely the edge here goes to the team in pink.
Yes, they have a little bit more room for error, you're right. And well, yeah, we saw how long it took Seoul to win at the first go around. Once again, going with the Winstons. Marvel just popping in, saying hello.
They've got him isolated here. He gets the Zarya shield. Gets back to his team.
Bounceable, lovable guy, he just keeps wanting to say hi. Check on everybody. Are you all right? Do you need a drink? Are you hungry? No? Okay, cool. Hold on. Let me go and run for that. And now he's just, back into it, tasing them all. He's a ruthless host, Hex. But it looks like he's going to take over because this is actually all working out for Seoul. There should be another contest. Yes, the contest comes through here from Spark, but that is 2 ticks. 2 ticks of permanent progress.
Oh, Rhea gets so low. Rhea's down.
Now, Rhea's not going to be around for much longer. Gushue either. That's got to definitely open it up now. Fitz hits the grab. That's going to take out Gods and Crystal. And there it is. The defense getting overwhelmed. Trying to punt them off the side, but unfortunately, Lucio defies the laws.
You're not killing Lucio like that.
Yeah, he defies the laws of physics, gravity. Like, what do we want to get into here? I mean, how can you stay on a wall like that?
Well, you're just not radical enough on rollerblades to understand, so you wouldn't get it.
Right, but I have tried to do that in real life, Hex, and it doesn't work. I just don't I don't get it. I don't get it.
No,
do I just have to work harder at being Lucio?
No, you just got to relax. You got to be chill. You got to be rad.
Yeah,
Skater life.
Tunes. Clearly, I'm not listening to the right tunes.
That's right. The good thing for Hangzhou is that during the end of that first half, or first point take by Seoul, they had to commit the Graviton very late into it. So Graviton Surge is going to be up for Hangzhou, and that's how they won one of these very early engagements last time.
Self-destruct right over. IDK gets pinned.
Yeah, that's one way to clear a room. Just send in the bomb over top. IDK going down hurts too. He almost had sound barrier.
That's going to delay it just a little bit. But when he comes back into this, they are obviously going to have enough tools here to stagger things out, to slow things down on the side of the Spark.
Yeah, they've already pushed him off.
Yeah, it's the Seoul Dynasty who need to play perfectly here. And right now, the Seoul Dynasty are deciding to back off and try and regroup together.
Oh, he got full of hubris there. Tossed in the grab, eaten.
Yeah, but you lose Fitz on the other side. So you lose that Zarya for the Seoul Dynasty. Long run back into this, and this is pretty much your final push. And Fitz knows this. He's going to Soldier to try and sprint his way back to the point as quickly as he can.
Sound barrier. Rally is up. Munchkin's got to use it just to get himself back in the mix. His team's also low. They will fall.
Yeah, this is it. No way do they make it back now. The Spark, they have done it. They've managed to hold the push. Fitz even going over to the Doomfist now, but it's not going to be enough, and there it is. So, the Spark, they give up the first point, but Seoul Dynasty unable to get any real progress on the second.
Patient play there from the Spark, knowing what they can give and what they can't. They're going to have another chance to push through. They need at least the first point, but then they could easily win the map by taking progress on the second point. 4.5 minutes in their time bank to do just that. So they can even make some mistakes. They can play Ultra Patient and bank up ultimates. There's a lot of room for error here. But good look for Hangzhou so far, trying to send us into the half of this play-in match. Tied up.
Yeah, this is for a spot in the playoffs. The stage playoffs happening next week. I believe we kicked the broadcast off 6 p.m. on Thursday afternoon, EST.
Yes.
Live here in studio. Get your tickets. And if there are any left.
Yeah, well, those are great because since we only have 7 matches in a stage, you don't get to see teams play every team that you want to see, right? Everyone's just re-hoping for probably the Vancouver Shock rematch, which went to 7 in the finals. But there's been some upset potential by this very Seoul team. Pulled off the upset in our Stage 1 playoffs. So you get to see matchups that you wouldn't otherwise see. And, yeah, playoffs are always hype. Winning in, lose and go home.
There you go. Best of 5s. It's brutal. It's cutthroat. And you got no safety net. You don't get to come back the next day and play another match. You're done. So let's say Spark, 4:20 on the clock.
Yeah, it's a number.
It is, in fact, the number. And the Spark looking to go ahead and get on to that point.
I have plenty of time. It's going to be a Ryan mirror now. Both these teams kind of bouncing back and forth between Ryan and Winston play. Very capable players on both positions, so They're just trying to find an angle here, trying to find an isolated target. They just bully their way in.
And get promptly bullied back out again. Although, you know, Gushui's still taking the fight to him. Marvel giving some ground. Marvel needs some love right now. He's dropping low.
Just baby steps here. Pushing and prodding.
They're doing a good job of sticking together, though, the Spark. There's the wrap, together as a unit. Now they're trying to just walk their way through these doors. These choke points.
Maybe it's almost got Transcendence. I bet you... Oh, if that didn't happen, I bet they would have gone aggro with the Transcendence here. He's so far ahead, and he has to know it.
Now you throw yourself off the side. I mean... You're giving a lot of ult charge over to the Dynasty.
And Crystal just now respawning, coming back. They're just playing it really patient. Why didn't Dynasty just go after this now, you know? You got Crystal, and you're just letting them wait and regroup.
But that's the thing. They have to rotate back around, otherwise Crystal gets cut off.
Yeah.
Potentially taking advantage
You've
of that.
got a shield. All right, grab up.
But now we get all the route. We get ults all over the place. Seoul Dynasty now got some time to work with. They got time to farm some ults. So they're going to be going back and forth here. Trance used by Jae Hong as well as the rally from Munchkin. There's Spitz with the grab. Can they capitalize on it? Can they do anything here? Shattered through the back. And yet still.
Transcendence was enormous there. Bebe had it, held on to it during that duration of the fight. Sound barrier is going to be up for Hangzhou. They can push their advantage with that.
You're just throwing ults in here and whiffing and hoping that something's going to happen. Marvel eventually gets cut off from the rest of his team, and that's going to be it. Jae Hong goes down, Michelle as well.
They hold on to barrier. They can initiate the next fight with barrier if they want.
This will be the first one. This will be the first point picked up. 2 minutes on the clock here for the Spark.
Tobi wasn't radical enough to skate off the edge.
Dude, he got blasted off the edge.
All right. Now, they will get their third point of Hanamura. Tied at the top. No way they can lose this map anymore. Worst case scenario for Hangzhou would be a draw. But they got 2.5 in the bank. Support ultimate online. Probably just rally in and fight. Let's go.
Yeah, take the fight to him. Fitz is going to have the grab, and that's pretty much the only thing that Seoul Dynasty are going to have to work with. And Jae Hong can get a trance pretty quickly, too. Let's see. Straight out, onto the balcony. Taking advantage of the high ground. Fitz with the grab immediately. Didn't waste any time at all, but we lost Jae Hong immediately as well, and that's certainly not going to help things here for the Seoul Dynasty. Munchkin somehow magically gets a rally online, and that is going to be boosting his team, but there is just shatters back and forth, and it's Seoul who come out on the receiving end. It's looking like a tied situation to me here, Hex.
Marvel got completely isolated and pushed back here. Hangzhou trying to just get some progress. Yellow marker on the board is all they need.
They're so close to doing it. Minute 30. There it is. Good focus fire. Picking them off as they make their way through. Munchkin has to go to the Tracer to try and buy some time. It's not going to be enough, though. They are going to get it done. The Spark tie up the series 1-1 versus the Seoul Dynasty.
It's been scrappy. It's been gutsy and gritty, but some clean play there from the end from the Hangzhou Spark are going to win them Hanamura. Seoul Dynasty took map 1 in this all-important play-in match. Winner gets in, gets London. Let's go to the half. We'll see you right after that.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
winner-go-home situation for the final spot in the Stage 2 playoffs, and both teams are definitely playing like it. After the Dynasty took map 1, it was the Spark coming up big on Hanamura to tie things up 1-1 at the half. Welcome, guys. Malik here with Brandon Monte Cristo. Guys, that first half, super charged, super competitive. A lot of standout gameplay. But you know what? I think this halftime we're going to do things a little differently. I want to know who you guys would give the game mouse to. We don't have game balls here in Overwatch, so the game mouse to. Who's really standing out on both these teams? Who's your MVP? Monty, you'll get Seoul, and you'll get Hangzhou, Brent.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take Seoul, and I'm going to go with Ryu Jae-hong because he has been the most consistent player for the Seoul Dynasty so far this year.
Yeah.
Overall, when we look at him as a player, we've seen Munchkin, him, and Michelle really leading the charge for the Dynasty, but Jae-hong has been activated again here in Stage 2. And, of course, it's come with a lot of Ana play for him, but his Zenyatta has been no slouch either. But it does seem like a return to form. And part of this, I think, has been slotting in Marvel into the lineup, because when you play with Fissure, he's always there to take up so many of your support resources, but when we see Marvel playing a more defensive style, it opens up Jae-hong to do other things. He's actually quite low in healing in the league and quite high in damage and eliminations right now on supports. So it's really been fun to watch him kind of come back and show off what he can do. As you can see, second in final blows out of Ana, and that is, I think, him in a nutshell right there.
Right, it's so good to see him back on his bread and butter Ana too, and him being activated, as you said, has been great as well. So Brent, you got to counter that, man. That's a strong argument.
Strong argument.
There. Yeah,
I won't lie, but I'm going to be making an argument for the one and only the Shui, the Gu Shui. This guy, phenomenal main tank talent, right? The leader, or if you will, for the Hangzhou Spark.
Yeah.
Absolutely unreal player. He came up kind of, a lot of people put him up and started noticing him from the Overwatch World Cup. A lot of his main tank plays, well known for his Winston mechanics individually, and he has been leading Hangzhou, at least in his second map here. This is why I would have him as my MVP. Unreal player. In my opinion right now, that my personal philosophy in the way that Overwatch is supposed to be played, I feel like the best success you're going to have with a team is if you build around main tank players. And if you have a very strong main tank player that can carry the game, that is playoff worthy, and that can be playoff worthy in itself. And Gu Shui, he's had his ups and downs. Started off pretty slow, I won't lie, for the Hangzhou Spark.
Yeah.
But now he's picking up. He's got the communication issues sorted. Remember, he's Chinese, he's playing in a team of Koreans. Look at these, out of 20 players, that's not bad. It's not awful. And his Winston, what he was known for at the end of the day, remember his nickname in China? Primal Blade. Because his primal rages are so sick, they look like dragon blades. There you go. I love bringing that up.
He still has his moments, though. I mean, you were raging while we were watching this match because he kept coming out to the point and not using his primal rage and getting stunned when he was
does have his
stalling.
moments where he feeds a bit, I won't lie.
But they did win.
They did win.
They did win on Hangzhou.
you're helping him, Monty. You're helping him.
I need all the help I can get.
No, that's not true. I just like Gu Shui as well. I think there's a strong argument to be made.
I guess I got to pick a winner. Blizzard Arena, who do you guys think? Should we go with Ryu Jae-hong in the Seoul Dynasty? Help me out. Okay. What about Gu Shui?
The one Hangzhou fan, I see you.
Man,
He's got my back.
I don't even know, man. I'm gonna go ahead. I gotta go with the legend. I gotta go with
I don't blame you, honestly.
I gotta go with it, man. Also because he had to help you a little bit with your argument. So, all right, guys. Final thoughts. Who you guys think are gonna come out on top at the end of this, man? It's super competitive. But what you've seen,
I mean, we did the face-off beforehand,
yeah.
and both of us were really 50-50 on that.
Right.
So I think it's so hard to call. I'm still on the Seoul side, but not by a lot.
okay. All right. What about you, Brent?
I'm sticking with the boys in pink, the Hangzhou Spark for this one. Like Monty said, we did a face-off. We were pretty much 50-50 split.
Right.
We put up with convincing arguments on both sides.
Yeah.
It can go either way. So sticking with the Hangzhou.
You guys are sticking with the picks, all right? Well, we got a whole nother half coming. Remember, guys, this is important. Winner keeps going, and the loser goes home for the stage playoffs. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Enter for a chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime trip for you and a friend to attend the 2019 Overwatch League Grand Finals and get the latest 9th-gen Intel Core i9 processor. Visit intel.gg/Core i9 to enter now.
for Hangzhou. Trying to get themselves in position. Gatsby really wants this high ground so he can land hacks on the key targets, but Michelle is keeping him in check. He's not allowing this high ground to be taken. Now Gatsby is behind in a little 1v1 battle.
Fitz has got to be careful once again. Clearly the name of the game here, I don't know how it works in terms of like Rhea, who is, but it's just Fitz is getting focused so quickly every time. As soon as he shows himself, it's just bam.
Yeah, almost EMP, almost up. Now you just have to play a little bit more passively here. Make sure you don't get killed with EMP online. Should come in like right here.
There it is, right over the top. Who's going to be here? Jaehong. Jaehong goes for the trance, but he's not fast enough. Marvel gets him overwhelmed immediately.
That shatter.
Oh, that was huge. That's such a shame for Jaehong. Jaehong was so close to getting Marvel in range, but he just didn't quite squeak it. He uses the trance. He did his job correctly. He just wasn't able. It didn't work out for Sold Out Time.
I know, but now bad goes to worse because there's no Transcendence up for the Graviton incoming here. There's the Shatter. After all was said and done, main tank out of the mix. You're just waiting to line it up, put him on the ground. Industry term being
but that's not that impressive, Hex, you know, because I mean, exactly, there's no Rhine in front of you.
I know.
So it's just like, oh, are you gonna miss that Shatter? Like, it's actually worse if you miss it at that point. That's what I want the replay. Him missing a Shatter without a Rhine in front of him.
That's a brilliant counter grab by Fitz there, actually, because they had no Transcendence to live through that, so he has to counter grab so no damage can come through. Marvel gets very low already.
Oh, buddy. Looking for it. Sparker here. There's the EMP from Godspeed. We saw how it went last time. Total destruction. Seoul Dynasty getting gutted here on the defense.
It's been as one-sided as it gets. 12 eliminations to 0.
Oosh.
I'm guessing you can figure out which side is which right there.
Ouch.
EMP goes down and shuts down the Moira, which Jaehong had switched to after his first Transcendence Gambit on the first point ended up failing. And now he is over to the Ana, perhaps the hero which he's best known for. Not much on either side. Rhea's about to get the grab here.
Yeah, once again, battle on the high ground. Name of the game here. Fitz wants to hold on to this so he can just rain in grenades from on high. Spark obviously want to keep that presence on the payload so they keep making progress. Eventually, the Seoul Dynasty are going to have to come down from on high and challenge, and that's what's going to happen
now, they just
at the second arch.
If they just need to keep track of Michelle. If they can track Michelle, they win this fight. There's the grab.
Oh, there's the grab. There it is. Self-destruct from Michelle to open it up. Fitz will finally get some healing, but he is still dangerously low. But the Spark still in a position to make some serious progress here. Bebe has got the trance. He is so close to going down.
Soul is making this work with duct tape and band-aids right now. The Shatter goes down, but now they keep everybody alive. Shatter blocked on the other side of things.
You see? Now let's get a replay of that. So Marvel backing off. Michelle's going to get D-Max. Yeah, so this is just everything going correctly here for the Spark. Clearly they had a game plan. They're controlling the momentum of these fights. They never really let Seoul Dynasty get comfortable. Every time it looks like Seoul Dynasty are starting to make their way, you got that EMP.
Fitz is trying to bring it back, and they are just going to solo grab Tobi. They are tired of messing around. They want this checkpoint. Should be able to get there.
It's a really nice adjustment bringing the Sombra into this.
Oh, actually. No. Yeah, Munchkin went onto the Yana. Sorry, I called it as Jaehong before. Let's see another
Let's
Shatter.
take a look at another Shatter. That was a Shatter.
This is just a setup.
Yeah, but this is it. You see it? Throws it. Shield is there, man. Shield is there. Gushui's not gonna fall for that. Your antics. Marvel, step your game up.
Well, it has
Take
been
a leaf out of Super's book.
It has been all Hangzhou so far. Now at 18 eliminations to 2. They are dictating the pace of this game. Seoul has been doing a good job of staying alive in situations where they shouldn't. Off the edge! Remember when we were teammates? Yeah, I remember. Into the pit. IDK puts Marvel down.
Always drink my soda.
You got all the glory. I was the best part of Lucky's Eating Future.
There it is. There it is. See, it all comes boiling up, Hex. This Spark offense is so brutal. Fueled by years of memories.
Yeah, Godspeed can get in position here to get an EMP. They should just win this one outright, too. EMP versus into Shatter is so good. Because Jaehong's going to have to be hiding as well. This is all down to Jaehong's. Right now, the huge advantage is for Hangzhou ultimate-wise. But if Jaehong can keep his team alive, they still have a shot.
This is all over the place. There we go. Shatter through. Godspeed somehow teleporting, levitating forward. despite not being able to control
It's
himself.
fine. It's just time to re-up. Now you have EMP. You baited out a couple ultimates that could have saved your life. So EMP into Shatter. You're going to have Graviton. Pretty much everything available here. As long as Godspeed gets in good position, they should be fine. 2 minutes remain on the clock for this offense.
Still got, yeah, exactly, some work to do here. Munchkin keeps hitting these nades, and that's so frustrating when you get the healing blocked. It's just like a slight delay in the push. Rhea's got to be careful, though. But here we go. Self-destruct thrown over the top from Michelle. Not going to find any kills. And Godspeed, just go ahead, put him on a blast in the back line. Rhea, baby, they're going to hang in here. There's the trans from Baby in the nick of time to keep the spark up. And Marvel, once again, the one to die. And they're getting kills quickly here, Spark. This is key.
Solo Grav is able to take down another target, and now it is all over but the last final push.
Boom.
There it is.
That's flawless.
90
That
seconds.
is a thing of beauty.
90 seconds on the clock. 29-3 there somewhere. 29-3 elimination.
And I do mean douchebag. But yes, that was a fantastic push. Excellent work. Total one-sided slaughter. We'll see if Soul are capable of the same after this.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Who's that on your screen, Hex? It's the Hangzhou Spark. They just demolished the Seoul Dynasty. 29 kills to 3 on the offense. Total brutal beatdown.
Yeah, I mean, I could have said I don't know and been right, because that's IDK right there. Yeah, he's been playing really well. He's been actually one of the bright spots for the Spark most of the year. Consistent Lucio play, keeping them alive. Lucio is so important, you're not even really going to notice all the giant plays they make, but if you see a Reinhardt that's somehow way out of position, it's because Lucio put him there. You know, trying to get ahead of him, knock him into his team.
Other thing is on the line here in this match is spot, the last spot in the quarterfinals of the Stage 2 playoffs, going down next week on Thursday. I think that's May 9th at 6 p.m. PST. There you have it.
It's not September 5th.
It's not September 5th. Because then we'll probably be getting into actual playoffs. But there you have it, guys. Be sure to tune in. Get your tickets if you happen to be in Los Angeles or close by. And let's get into the action, Hex. Let's see. Are the Seoul Dynasty going to get Munchkin? Or munched on? I don't know.
We'll see. All right, standard setup here from Hangzhou. Fighting for this last spot. The privilege to go against the London Spitfire.
Yeah, that would be that would be great. And it'd also be just, you know, just the colors of the jerseys. Baby blue versus bubblegum pink.
Oh, yeah. It'd be very vaporwave aesthetic.
Yeah. We'll let Wolf and Achilles cast out. Where are they going here? It's just the wrap from Seoul, and no change in strategy either.
No. Hey, if they want, they can wrap all the way around. We've seen some teams do this and attack from the backside of the point. Other than that, you play this corner right here. High ground taken away by Michelle as he goes zooming by, takes the top. But now he's all alone. They can't really punish this, though, because it's Diva. She'll just fly away.
Looking for the boop. Looking for the pressure. Marvel swinging away. And both of these teams in the standoff. Oh, buddy, Adora and Godsby, though.
Very low. That Shatter's just to buy space. That's legitimately a zoning Shatter. He knew his teammates were too low. You can't push into it when you see it happen, so he's got to get everybody healed up. I mean, it's bonus points if you knock someone down, but they just had to buy time.
Every time the focus is great. Tobi is doing a good job of getting into the back line as well.
Marvel's pushed way out.
He takes out Bebe and somehow survives it. Jaehong with the clutch trance to keep his teammate up. Marvel going to survive it, and it looks like Seoul Dynasty, they've set themselves up for success here on the first point. Easy life. It looked dicey there for Marvel, though, but Jaehong once again, and this time Jaehong had him in range.
Yeah.
That's why the defense failed so quickly the first time around. Jaehong wasn't able to get that trance onto Marvel.
Almost in the exact same spot, too.
Boom. Exactly. Look at that second chance. All they needed was another chance, Hex.
Unfortunately, you don't get too many of those in Overwatch and or in life. They do have several good ultimates to use, though, pushing forward, because they won that with just the Transcendence. Everything else available.
Sorry, I was just to be nitpicky. I thought that was the whole point of GOATs, is you get 30 chances, Hex. So, moving in, self-destruct, nobody there. But yeah, that is kind of the point of running 3-3.
Yeah.
All the chances.
When you're talking to, what, was it the Swiss team last year? It said more tanks allow for more mistakes.
It's simple as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that grab got absolutely nothing. I turned away for a second and didn't even see what happened there.
Nothing. I'll just give you the cliff notes. And, well, here's another grab. We'll see. Does something happen in this one? Nope. There's a sound barrier used. Rally by Munchkin. The Spark refusing to die. Nice attempt. I like that little boop there from IDK.
Yeah, just a little bit off on the timing because the Earth Shatter came out later than that, but yeah, I mean, he might have booped them too much.
Yeah, they got launched bodily all the way up there. Slowly but surely making progress. Still trying to find a kill. I mean, this is still very close in terms of kills for both of these teams. I mean, as in, they haven't gotten a whole lot. It's still pretty one-sided for the Spark. Seoul Dynasty struggling a bit more.
Yeah, another Transcendence is able to keep most of the team alive, but Adora will fall. Without that Brigida, that's a lot of the healing output down.
Boucher gonna go, though. Both Rhines out of the picture now. This is getting spicy. Bebe, though, just hitting headshots left and right. He's just doing so much damage, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, he's dying. Did you hear that?
Yeah. Think.
That was insanity from Bebe. So we'll be able to push. One more defense will be mounted before this checkpoint is reached, though, as the payload slogs along here. There is a Graviton from Godsby ready to go. Jaehong has Transcendence. That is the micro duel that's going to happen in the next fight.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Standoff now between the two. Who's going to get it right? Marvel again, just getting so much attention. Spark, man, they're just doing so much damage right now. This is burning very valuable time off the clock for Seoul Dynasty. They're down to 2.5 minutes. And they're actually having to back off and try and get some breathing room here. It's looking like they want to wrap around the other side. Fitz is leading the charge, as always. Fitz always aggressive.
And now he's giving up the high ground. You got to memo the rest of your team to get off the high ground. You can't just hold it alone up there as D.Va. Rotation comes in, still looking for the optimal grab position.
There's a grab. There's a charge. And they do take out Gushui. So, Seoul Dynasty, finally, some success on their side. There's the grab to pull into Seoul Dynasty, though, one after the other.
But in that position, without Gushui, who's going to do the damage in there? You needed the hammer to cleave through and kill everybody. A bomb goes off for good measure, and IDK will fall late. Everyone on Hangzhou is going to get cleaned up late here.
Out and out chaos, Hex.
Unceremoniously.
Out chaos.
Cleaned up. Yeah, I think that might have been a good position for Godsby to try to do the counter grab while his team was into it, rather than trying to put them into the terrace. Because clumped up like that, a single Brigida shield is going to keep them alive in front of them. That's why you need the Reinhardt hammer to just go through, swing through those shields. Not the case there. 2.5 minutes on the clock for Seoul. Try to finish out the map.
These two teams, this is too much. All they're doing is just standing, like no mincing about on the Spark side of things. They just go charging right in. Gushui gets a bit greedy there, tries to charge Marvel out of it, and he is going to get punished. The focus fire too good on the side of the Seoul Dynasty.
Yeah.
There's Bebe as well. There's a golden opportunity here for Seoul.
Hangzhou just need to regroup, retreat, back all the way up to spawn, wait, fight a 6. You can't leave anyone out. And they're going to have to go into a loaded Seoul Dynasty team.
No, they've managed to buy enough time, and they will get the final challenge. Now it's about performing here. Munchkin with the rally, countered by Bebe with the trance. Shatters are through on both sides. Jaehong gets laid out for a nap. He is at risk. Marvel's able to cover him, though. And now you're going to have Jaehong with the trance. This can make all the difference. Godspeed does manage to take a little bit of pressure off this team with that grab. And the self-destruct pays off a little bit, but we're going to lose Godspeed and Gushui, and this certainly is going to be Seoul Dynasty now with the opportunity to tie things up.
Well, they got Munchkin, so that's one kill. It's sometimes all you need at these very ends when your defensive spawns are so close. Munchkin's going to come back onto the Hammond, back into the mix. Got to start getting kills. Not going to happen.
Not fast enough. They had to back off there. IDK wrapped around the corner, and that's all she wrote. Pretty much dead even. Not in terms of kills, still Spark in the lead, but in terms of time bank, both of these teams looking so good. So we're tied up, Hex, 3-3. And with 2 seconds separating them, it's the Hangzhou Spark who have to go on the offense. They have less time in the bank by 2 seconds, so they're the ones under the gun first.
As we go through our second tour of the theme park here, actually looks really nice from this upward angle.
That looks beautiful. That looks like Stormwind.
Although
I used to camp bodies in there back like 10 years ago in Vanilla.
I still get a little creeped out by Overlords, though. These big meat, it's kind of gross. Anywho, 90 seconds for both teams. Symmetric trick out the gate. Get everyone up over the top. No leg day for the stairs right there. IDK will switch over. They are running the Sombra variation. So ideally, you want to get an EMP and win the fight.
In an ideal world.
Yes.
But, it doesn't really always work out that way, Hex.
No, it does not. Not even many targets. He's actually just once Michelle.
That's great. Whoa, I thought he got slapped. That was spicy. But Seoul Dynasty, and they're on defense right now. They're still set up. The Spark still working their way around. They are going to have that duel once again between Godspeed and Michelle. They are really just trying to be...
I mean, it's just poking right now. They're just waiting for Godspeed to try to hack and poke, right? He's not getting enough poke in right now. Only at 50% on the EMP, but you don't want to go in before this EMP. Gushui gets slapped.
Oh, buddy. Looks like they're going to just decide to get impatient here. The Seoul Dynasty going to pay for it. Marvel, once again, the focus fire too good. He goes crashing in, and that's not going to help things at all.
The IDK peel is just unreal right there. Comes in over the top, boops him away, gets everyone healed up, gives him a speed boost as well. They might be able to hold this EMP.
Yep, they're looking so good here, Hex.
Nope, they're just going to go for it.
There it is. Everybody hacked on the side of Seoul Dynasty. Get out. 4 points on the board for the Hangzhou Spark. They've done it.
They've unlocked the point. Now it's all about the progress. Here comes the payload.
I like how they're very careful about standing right at the door where their payload is, because if they strayed even in an instant, that would have been it.
The moment you step off the cart, whether forced to or not, the overtime meter runs down and your offense is over. Seoul doesn't really have anything yet to try to push us back. They're nearing Grav, they're nearing Shatter. The Rhine games are real right here because both teams have Reinhardt Earth Shatters.
Yeah, but there's a huge edge here for the Spark, it seems. Munchkin with the rally, but there's going to be the grab, bringing it in. Let's go for the group hug, guys. Adore countering, and they are just going to go back and forth. Nice shatter thrown in by Gushui. Instantly canceled out with the charge-on-charge action between the two Rhines, but now it's going to be grabs of their own here. Marvel just swinging away, merry as could be. He is so pleased right now.
Yeah, it's just Sombra and Lucio on the point. They're going to try it, get an EMP off, they get a barrier off, they're pulling this back somehow. The support's in Sombra.
This is unbelievable. Unreal, but Michelle's now got the big tank again, so certainly this must be the time where they go down. No, he's on your team, Michelle. Tobi's on your team.
Doesn't matter, you're Diva, just spray and pray. Gotta get out of there. It was two supports, bringing it back, and the support line of the Hangzhou Sport continued to impress.
That is nuts. Godsby as well. Gotta give it to him.
But you got that ult, you got that sound barrier. I mean, hit him if you got him, boys. You're not saving him for next round. And look at this ult economy, where it is now for Seoul. It's in the gutter.
A whole lot of nada. There isn't much there. Oh, man. Munchkin low and Seoul Dynasty just going in. They've trying to show no fear. And here we go. That is the perfect start. Gushui instantly taken out. These bio nades from Jae-Hong connecting and making all the difference. The Legend is back. Hex just wrecking face.
I mean, there's going to be a grab here because no one's even shooting at Rhea. It's going to grab them off the point. There's no follow-up, though, because they don't have that hammer to fly through the shields. And a valiant second effort. That's where the payload will stop.
That's an extra, 30 meters that they got that they wouldn't have had otherwise?
Yeah.
I mean, solid work there from the Spark. A real heroic play coming in there for that hold. But we'll see. And now it's on the Seoul Dynasty to do the same. And Seoul Dynasty, they had 2 seconds more, so they had 1:30 on the clock. But they're going to have to go just as far, Hex. They're going to have to get the first point as clean as the Spark did.
Yeah, you really can't lose a fight with 1:30 left. And if you do, you have to initiate it very quickly and then hope that you still have 45 seconds left or so. But you don't have time to do it this... Well, I mean, you do have time to do what the Spark did. They had the same time bank. Be interesting to see if they want to run the Sombra. Just such a good strategy here in this situation where you only have to win one fight, maybe win another. They've got the players on this team to do it, does Seoul Dynasty.
Oh, Jae-Hong would be a man out for my own heart right now. I love playing Soldier on Blizzard World. First point, man, you step in those corners.
I know exactly where you hide on first point, too. And you do just hide.
I have had so much fun.
You crouch up there and wait for them to get on the point as your team's getting battered, and then you pop up. Surprise!
Yeah. Felix Rockets, and then just mow everything down. Hey, there you go, man. So much fun. Not going to happen, though, obviously. So, let's see. What's on the defense here? Nothing different. So, 3-3, or rather, 3-3. 3-3. Score is 3-4.
The only thing that could change would be Marvel. I think they're going to run this, so Marvel and Sombra. No, full switch. Okay. I thought Sombra's a good idea, but what do I know?
Sombra, I mean, it's just... You gotta be all sneaky, Hex. They're very straightforward right now in Seoul Dynasty.
Yeah.
They're like hungry tigers. They're just gonna go straight at them. They're not gonna lay there in the tall grass, bide their time.
Jae-Hong Sen trying to get these early picks. He's put in a lot of damage so far.
He's putting Bebe on notice there, letting him know. Oh, again, Bebe, gotta be careful. If you hold these angles, buddy, you peek these angles, you may get volleyed in the face. Jae-Hong, more than willing to hold his own. But now we're gonna have it. The moment the Seoul Dynasty just charging straight in. IDK instantly deleted. Adora has got to go down here as well. He is far too low. There is no way that he should be surviving this. Sure enough, he is not. Baby with the headshot on Jae-Hong, though.
A small solace there. I mean, they still have the D.Va on the point, but this doesn't matter, right? You don't need to come back in here and try to fight the point because it's going to get into overtime. You just have to stop them once. That's all that matters. Win a single fight. Don't overcommit. And, I mean, they can even hold this choke here. So you hold the choke, and then even if you lose that, you're going to have another fight because where the progress is in the payload. So they have 2 chances to win this map. Put themselves in great position in the series. I have Transcendence at the ready as well. I mean, Soul's going to come in now and try to fight this with Rally.
There it is, sure enough. Maybe with the trance.
Shatters up.
There's the other trance. Just watch the check marks at the top, basically. You know? And then there's going to be a shatter. Marvel's hiding behind it, maybe trying to play mind games, trying to use the cart to hide the shatter. Yep, there we go.
Good one. We got Adora.
Oh, buddy. That was a big one, though, from Gushui. Does one better, but there's the grabs. Coming through, self-destruct, over the top, Baby's out, Adora too, and this is nuts, Hex. They still got so far to go, though, but still a 1 fight for Seoul Dynasty. They are still alive.
Okay, so Shatters came in there. What remains at the end of the day, Godsby has Graviton, not even close on the other side, and there's nothing to stop this Graviton.
Why did
Michelle does not,
the cart?
It's fine. Oh. If Michelle does not eat this, Hangzhou should win this map.
They better get out there fast. They are so close. Got to contest now.
But you can't let Gushui die either. You need his damage for this grab.
All right, let's see.
Just need to get your own energy up.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Getting it. Marvel gets blown up. Oh, no, the grab is there. Do they have the follow-up?
Yeah, Michelle's down.
That's it. And they are going to do it. The Spark Jaehong, you can sit in trance all you want, but it's not going to be enough. Your team is gone, and the Spark, they win on Blizzard World and take the lead in the series. The last 2 maps they have claimed. Score is 2-1, Hex.
1 map away from playing themselves into our Stage 2 playoffs, which begin next Thursday. Can the Spark close it out as we move to Escort?
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Back into the thick of things, Hex, after that wonderful break. We are now going into the potential final map of this series on Rialto. The Spark are looking fired up. They're looking good to go. Right now, it's on the Tigers. It's on the Seoul Dynasty to dig deep and find an answer.
Winning you're in. It's been about as close as it gets on every single map that we've had. Maybe Hanamura was a bit one-sided for the Spark, but regardless, trying to make their very first stage playoffs here, they would face off against London, coming in the final spot in the bracket. Seoul made their first stage playoffs in Stage 1, and we are now headed to the lovely map of Rialto.
Listen to that music. Just let it sweep you along.
Sweep you along the Venetian shores.
Just sitting back, soaking up the rays.
If you have not been to the Blizzard Arena, you need to come just for the screen, just on the sides. Full immersion. Yeah, it's a 4D experience. All right, we've had a payload in our last matchup. This one is all about the payload and escort map. You just push that payload. Checkpoint 1 is right there. Checkpoint 2 is right there. You get more clock. You get closer spawns. And then the fitting end of this beautiful, beautiful map is right there.
Is that a goddess? Is that what the idea is?
Is it the Venus? I don't know.
Is it Venus?
Don't know.
Could be, but then she's holding a veil.
Don't ask me about that.
I mean, alright, fine, fair enough.
That's more of a Monty question.
See, Monty could go on at lane. I should be able to go on at lane.
3-3 here versus 3-3. A complete mirror matchup. This map all about fighting over corners, right angles, 90-degree turns.
Yes.
So they're going to try to juke them out, maybe pretend that they're going to take high ground, and now just push right forward. A little bit of breathing room acquired by Hangzhou.
This is where the players wish that they could just destroy the maps, walk through the walls, like Ryan just goes charging through the wall. It's like, you're going to hide around this corner?
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Just Kool-Aid Man right through it.
Oh, yeah! Here's a shatter. That would be so sick. All right, Free Up doing the best he can to survive right now. Feeling very vulnerable outside of his 2-ton mech.
Yeah, he's going to have to back up. It passively charges the mech call down so quickly that he can probably just hang out here. Maybe like a single pistol shot. And against a 3-3 composition, there's just big bodies everywhere, so you can get that mech rather quickly. Recall down mech. my favorite way to kill someone in the game. The call down mech actually does damage. It just doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it's such a shame that everybody's already, depending on when the grab goes off. Enough of that. Let's go, Marvel. Looking for it. Now we're going to pass into the Iris as we all gather around Brigitte. And then I have no idea what Zarya says, but there's a grab gone down.
It's fire at will.
Fire at will. Oh, that's it, of course. Doesn't come to mind.
Huge shatter, knocks down several. A nice bubble there, keeps their main tank alive, though. This one's still kind of scrapping by. They've lost a Dora. To back up a little bit and get some heals here.
Fitz doing a better job of surviving this time, at least. Not going down early. We lose Munchkin, but that forces a sound barrier out of Hangzhou. 5 alive here for Hangzhou on the point, though, so they are going to be pushing forward, and we don't really just quite yet have an answer.
They'll definitely be able to fight here again under the choke if they want.
I mean, they gotta get it now, but they're kind of spread out. It's gonna be dicey here for Seoul Dynasty, a bit touch and go, and yep, sure enough, Marvel gonna get overwhelmed, and Bebe just throws trances out there.
Yeah, and why not? Big hammer, second point should be taken by Hangzhou any moment.
Sick work. They're looking unstoppable right now, the Spark.
I mean, Bebe charges Transcendence about 45 seconds on average, so that's why it's a little bit loosey-goosey with him. Also, Fitz hasn't really put the fear of God in you with the Gravitons. There's not really been follow-up, so...
That's a good point as well, actually. It's either one or the other. Marvel is dying or Fitz is dying. It's almost always the case.
Yeah, Marvel 3 deaths already this map.
Marvel's having a bit of a rough time today.
Yeah, I mean, that's what IDK will do to you. He's always behind and above him, just launching him into the waiting open maw of his team.
Where they spark him to death, they tase him to death, I guess is the idea. It's a long, painful death, Hex, but it gets the job done. So, Spark it through. Baby, there you go. Marvel, 4 deaths now so far. Munchkin's certainly going to go down next as well. And the Spark are just powering through. Once they get into these payload situations, they just look unstoppable, Hex.
Maybe it's the extra healing the payload gives you, that they can just play that much closer to the edge and getting a little bit of healing from that payload push. But yeah, you're right. This has been the Hangzhou power hour here. They're going to rally in here. They have Graviton ready as well.
There's the grab to open it up. Gushwei looking to take advantage. Oh, the boop, perfectly timed. Not going to allow him to cleave.
That's fine.
Francis are down, and there's the shatter. Baby blows him up. Marvel's gone. Munchkin next, and they are all done for here on the side of Seoul.
Yeah, they got Michelle really early in that fight, which allows for just whatever kind of grab you want. Not enough cleaning it up, but that's because Jaehong had Transcendence up, and now that's used. Both support ultimates on the side of Hangzhou now coming online, so they can defend against any sort of aggression that Seoul's able to put up.
This is just such a tough one for Seoul. Every time it feels like Marvel or Fitz, they're getting cut off.
Getting isolated and killed first.
Yeah, this is brutal. Such a hard position for them to be in. Spark right now just doing a marvelous job on the offense. So, once again, swinging hammers. And again, Gushwei, this time it's Munchkin going down. Trance is there. He's getting taken for a ride. It's very kind of Marvel. Realized that Bebe wasn't healing everybody on his team, so he's like, here, let me help you out real quick. And the Spark are just powering through. Seoul Dynasty, it's been such a scrappy, gritty fight so far. This series has been fantastic, but are they faltering here at the end?
This has been about as clean as it gets. Only 2 deaths the entire map so far for the Spark.
Yeah, the Spark are the ones, like on Hanamura, where they're getting these really one-sided halves.
Ah, nice sound barrier is going to keep everybody alive.
Oh, Michelle nearly loses that mech. Still at risk, but there we go. Michelle making the plays.
Needed that one. Needed that one desperately.
Yes, you needed to come up with something there. Bebe going to get staggered.
Yes. Be very, very quiet.
Make no noise.
He's trying to hide.
Don't move.
He's in the sitting emo. He wants them to leave. Munchkin found him.
Oh, man. There's people checking the fans.
Yeah, I was hoping none of the fans were tipping him off down there.
There is that land circumstance, when you get a back cap or something, people are going crazy, and there is that land element where wait, what? Why are people shouting right now? Oh,
that's
yeah,
one of the hazards of the local area network play.
There you go.
All right, going into it now. 2 minutes left on the clock to try to finish out the map for Hangzhou. Finally, a stabilizing fight for Seoul in the prior fight. Shatter up. Bebe, of course, has Transcendence ready to go again. Ryan Games going to be big here. Shatter versus Shatter. Marvel versus Gushwei. And
again leading. Again leading. And this time it's Tobi getting blown up. There's the opening, followed up by the shatter. Gushui has been so on point all match long with these shatters. He is hardly missing a beat. Michelle doing the best he can along with Fitz to try and contest this, and that was a nice self-destruct. Just buying a little bit more time.
Trying.
That is going to be it. 3 points picked up for the Spark in solid fashion.
A little bit bummed they didn't back cut. I love a back
That would have been so sick. That would have been so sick. I wonder what gave it away. What they realized. Like where's the Lucio? I mean,
yeah.
keeping count?
Maybe it was me covering my mouth up here. Maybe it was my fault.
Oh, man.
Sorry, IDK. I'm sorry, IDK.
They saw the reflection in the
I doubt
glasses.
it. No one even knows I exist.
From up there, over here. You know, they got that laser eyesight.
It didn't really matter, though. They regroup as a team. They come in. They get all the alt-solo kills that they needed. Just really able to isolate Marvel this entire matchup. Munchkin tries to save him a lot, too. So Munchkin goes down. But Marvel leads the server in deaths. He died 7 times. Munchkin died 6 times.
Yeah.
You know how many times the entirety of Spark died? 7 times.
We're just getting flashbacks to Hanamura. They're having really effective offense on the side of the Spark. They're just powering through the Soul.
And it's never just one person's fault. It's just that's the name that keeps showing up. It's very clear that Hangzhou have decided to isolate the main tanks. And then sometimes Munchkin gets in there to try to help them out with an armor pack and a bash. And they're like, plan B, just kill this guy instead.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to find something here. Soul must finish Rialto. A long map. Otherwise, their stage 2 playoff hopes are dashed, are dead. They're just going to go home, and the Spark will make their debut in the Overwatch League stage playoffs.
Once again, no less. Once again here for the Soul. On the ropes. And I'm curious. It's been scrappy. Like I said, it's been scrappy all series long. Now, Soul, you got to dig deep. You got to show us what you're capable of here. It's a Spark. They've looked good. Now, can you hold your own? Adora on the high ground. Not going to get caught. Quick back there. It's going to be at the first corner. Standard as standard could be. Let's see. In terms of setup, yep, nothing crazy either. And yep, they're just going to be moving on forward. Now it's going to be the standoff here. And Gushui, of course, just going to go ahead and ring their bells real quick. Nice little fire strike just to say hello.
Make a move. What wants to happen here is Rio wants them to get off the edge and then wants to do a little scoop and beat.
Yep, and it might happen.
Oh, they just jumped down.
Yeah, they oblige him. They oblige him. Let's go ahead. Let's fight. Let's fight. Take the gloves off. Let's get to work here, boys. Gushui's already got the shatter. Straight in the back. Perfect. So good. Oh, my God. It's brutal.
You don't really expect that shatter coming out so quickly.
It was tough to point out because everybody's at 10%, and because of that one fire strike at the start, he was up at 54% before the fight even took off.
Yeah.
So like another fire strike, a couple swings, boom. Just surprise fatty shatty.
Got in there. Back to the drawing board for Soul as they come around. They're going to have a shatter of their own coming online momentarily. But these setups take a long time. I mean, you're taking a long time to get everybody up the stairs, everybody over. You lose a fight, you just burned about over a minute off the clock. Only 2.5 left.
Yeah, Soul right now. I mean, when you're kind of just grouped up in the apartment, you're going to have to leave the apartment at some point, guys.
Don't tell me that.
You're going to have to get out into the real world, Soul, and find your way. Nobody's going to give it to you. The Spark are currently standing in front of them.
Got a couple down.
Jaehong is there. Marvel going for a ride, and there we go. Jaehong with the trance. A moment too late to save Michelle, though, so we are in a tied situation, 5-5. Munchkin barely survived somehow. The heroics are real, but it's not enough for the Seoul Dynasty. They are currently getting defanged. Hex.
IDK got Marvel earlier. He got to make sure he's spreading the love against his former teammates. Into the drink with Michelle to open that up. Below 2 minutes now, and Soul just used everything they had. Fitz is going to have Graviton, but Baby should have Transcendence, and they don't even use Transcendence against Graviton. They usually use Barrier. That's already up. And they've got a Shatter. So they grab you, just shatter and put them on the ground, and just sit in your little black hole and laugh.
Stylistically, the Spark really do have a signature move there with Baby Bay and the trance. Let's get in. There's the grab. There's the trance. Baby Bay going to use it this time, so they are going to go ahead and coordinate. Marvel finds Adora. That's going to throw a wrench in things here as far as the defense are concerned.
Yeah.
And I like that from the Spark. Instantly. Back off. Just back off and reset. That kill on Baby is not the best, though. I wouldn't say Baby Bay, but it's Baby. You know?
It's rough. They might have to just give this one up without contesting. They do. Add some time to that clock. 3.5 minutes now, but still a very good defense already from the Spark.
Yeah. No, this is solid. And now they keep them all together here. They give away a minimal amount of ult charge to Seoul. And they're the ones with the ult advantage now on the side of the Spark. They can just go ahead and chuck these guys off the bridge into the drink. Rallies in. There's the stun. And yep, sure enough, Fitz. What are you going to do now, buddy? What are you doing now, buddy?
See ya!
Unreal. Wait, hold on. He can jump onto the boat. Fitz, don't miss this chance. Oh, he misses the chance.
He's just going to wait and come back around.
Oh, my
He's
God.
still...
Oh, he does himself in the end.
Oh, I love this game. I love this game so much.
I think that's a first for me, at least. I haven't seen that happen before. All right, then.
While that was happening, the Spark held.
Yeah, that was a given. Speaking of holding,
Yeah.
Seoul Dynasty right now. Soul Dynasty doing work. Let's get into the thick of things. Hex just can't control himself. He's so excited. We got the grab. Spark. Everybody in for a bear hug, and they are not too worried about it because Bebe's got the trance once again to keep them all healthy. And IDK again, knocking them off the bridge. Again, second time.
Yeah, this is Lucio's playground. He loves it. Loves the environmental kills. He's up there again. You got him careful. Into the drink. Later, dog.
This bonkers. This is getting silly. Minute 45 on the clock. And the Seoul Dynasty, I mean, they can't get much cleaner than this, Hex. They have spent a lot of time in the water now. You know, IDK.
And can tigers swim? I think they can.
Yeah, they can. It's like, is it clean behind their ears? You know, IDK keeps checking, like, no, back in the bath with you. You know? Boom.
All right, grab up for the Spark. Self-destruct to initiate. Try to buy some room.
It worked. There it is. Once again, IDK knocking him out of position. But we do lose Gushui. So without the Rhine there, it's a bit spicy. We'll see. Are the Spark going to be able to hold on this? Rhea is there. Full melting beam there from Godspeed, but Jaehong decides enough is enough, and we're going to get the trance and the AoE healing into play. You just heard it. 60 seconds left on the clock. Approaching the second point now for the Seoul Dynasty. The Spark, they do have the ults online necessary. If Godspeed can line it up with Gushui, they can still get the Grav combo going.
Really just need one fight to win here as well. That Grav could be the decider.
Oh, perfect.
Right to the wall.
Where's the follow-up? Gushui's swinging right now. Going toe-to-toe right now. Gushui's got the Shatter as well. Just came online. And Seoul have to back off. Looks like they want to buy time. Wait for Bebe's trance to wear off. But what do we got? We got Michelle with the self-destruct. Is that the best you can do?
Well,
Fedora
they just
survives it.
They just capped.
Oh, get out of here.
At some point, you do need to fight on the objective.
Unreal. They do get it. They sneak it. Minute 38 on the clock now. They just get a second chance at life.
It's Hangzhou in a nutshell, too. They play so well, and they play just amazingly all the time, and then just brain dead moment, right? You just forget the point of the game, and the cap comes off for Seoul. Little over a minute, have to finish out the map. That's rough.
Well, that's rough. And that's rough if you're the Spark, because you got to be thinking, like, we got this, guys. And then, turns out, somebody was channeling soon on Seoul Dynasty. Always eye on the prize, that guy. Never leaves the payload unattended.
Well, they have Rally. So if they want to engage and be aggressive, they have that option to do it with the Rally. They're going to do it.
We're going to get in. IDK once again. Looking to wreak havoc in the back line. Shatter going to get dodged as well. IDK there to protect, to make sure that he protects.
He attack and he protect. Grab online for Hangzhou. And we're in single digits. We're below a minute. 30 seconds left. This next fight is all important.
Yeah, again. But they are making very little progress this time, Seoul Dynasty. The battle is happening in the out. Godspeed now waiting for it. The opportunity here. Does he go for the trance or not? Or not the trance, the grab. Jaehong with the trance. There's the grab. Goes off. Sound barrier thrown in now by IDK. That opens it up for Fitz to go boom with the bomb. Rhea coming up with the goods. Big shatter though thrown in by Marvel. That opens up 2 kills. Make that 3. And it's looking like the Spark, just like that, in the blink of an eye, they're sent back to spawn. You go for the reset hard now. You reset hard, get topped up, You still have a chance to win this. Absolutely. The Spark, it's all or nothing now, but you have Adora with the rally. You can rally out as a group right now.
Rally comes out. Everyone gets little armor topped off. You got a Transcendence now online from Bebe. You know how like they like to be aggressive with this.
Yes, exactly. Rhea is still hanging on by a thread as well. Rhea deciding to go ahead and throw him for a loop. But here we go. Bebe trying to go aggro exactly with the Trans. Throwing it out. Gushue. Shatter hits nothing. That's not going to help things here as Godspeed gets pasted against the wall, and we have a tied situation, Hex. 3-3.
Going into overtime. 3-3 here. Spark trying to close it out. Seoul trying to keep their hopes alive. Extra innings of Rialto when we return.
Pretty sure that the Spark right now are annoyed with themselves. I think they had that within their grasp and they let it go. They let the Seoul Dynasty get that second point when they had pretty much closed the door on them. So, Seoul Dynasty, that's the nature of competition though. Your opponents mess up, you take full advantage.
Yeah.
And now we're in a tied situation. 3-3.
I mean,
and Seoul Dynasty once again on the attack.
You don't really want to give any team a second chance, but Seoul would be near the top of my list of teams that you don't want to let back into a match that you've almost closed out. London would be up there as well. Of like, you don't want to give these guys a second chance, do you? You gotta put them down when you have the shot at it. But here it is, Seoul's second push, only a minute because they finished in overtime. And I can't imagine the Spark are gonna give up any corner for free. Well, I get first corner, that's fine. Fight in your standard spot. Don't mix things up too much.
Exactly. Standard as standard could be. Vanilla, paper white, A4. Just going in. Nothing shocking here.
They rotate around, so they're going all in on this one fight. 20 seconds left.
Well, right out to the open. Goes right out of it, but he is going to get good support. And Adora finds Tobi somehow. That was weird. Where was Tobi? Tobi's trying to go for the wrap, but then Adora gets punished by Fitz, so we're back and forth here. Marvel goes down, and with 9 seconds on the clock, this is no good here for Seoul.
Munchkin solo.
I do like that they are focusing the payload, though, on the side of Seoul Dynasty. Every meter matters.
Oh, that kill! Jaehong was coming in off the flank. Bebe just annihilated him from across the map.
Big deal, but losing Fitz is not going to help things here. IDK, the murderer. He's bloodthirsty, Hex. He is relentless, and he's not able to deny Michelle with the new mech. Unfortunately, that's going to keep things rolling here for Seoul a little while longer.
Just got to clean it up. Just got to finish. A solo grab on a Tobi. Trying to get rid of the ball. Marvel goes down. This one's all over. Just waiting for the cleanup.
But the squeaking. Oh, nope, never mind. Jaehong is there. Jaehong with the trans. Makes him in brother. He just runs away. He doesn't want to give him any stats. Don't give him any stats. Gushue was after him, too.
That is where the payload will stop. Seoul does not look too pleased about it.
Yeah, this is it's gone from such a competitive series to a battle for their lives here. As far as the Seoul Dynasty are concerned, it's a stage playoffs, round of 8 that's on the line. The winner of this series will be the last team competing in the round of 8 next week on Thursday, 6 p.m. PST, live here in the studio. Be here or watch online. Whichever.
But seriously, be here.
Yeah, be here.
Yeah.
Here's better.
Be there or be square, I believe the saying goes. Don't be a square. Speaking of squares, that one is the victory box.
It's a rectangle.
Aren't all squares a rectangle?
It's got 4 angles, I guess, 90 degrees, so there you go, whatever. It's a box full of victory.
All right.
You know what else? The Spark, full of victory, too.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
They're looking good right now. 2.5 minutes on the clock means they got a lot of time to work with here.
That's a solid 2, maybe 3 attempts at a push. See what they want to go with. Gushue on the Pharah. Very likely not going to happen. He's going to go over to the right. I've seen Bumper play Pharah,
Yeah.
Is it just, who needs a main tank when you have a Pharah? That's what I always tell my ladder teams.
I always tell them that too, but then they never listen. They never seem to acknowledge that. Just let me play Soldier. That is the key. If you ever queue with me, let me play Soldier. All right. So let's see, Hangzhou. What do they got for us here? Spark.
Just going to give up ground and play around the corner here. Nothing new. No tricks.
Oh, well, yeah. So a little bit of a spread there. Fitz wanting some love. He wants you to go. He wants you to pop the bubble.
This little corner is so brutal. See both tanks trying to get in there.
Oh, Marvel not doing as well as Gushui did, though. Gushui pulling ahead here in the race to Earth Shatter.
Well, not anymore.
Buddy, but Marvel, he's so low. Marvel does get topped up, but now who is going to be vulnerable because of this?
Cosby! Cosby's like at 5 HP. Rhea's going to die.
Yeah, they're getting hard reset here. They are getting hard reset. Time to get out of dodge. If you're the Hangzhou Spark, Gushui was ahead, but now definitely not going his way. Time for the reset. Time to back off.
90 seconds.
You got time. You got time. There's no reason to press this.
Yeah. Hey, they have a Transcendence too. Jaehong has been putting in so much work. Okay, they should get there momentarily. It's all about just getting a single kill. You could win this map, go to the playoffs.
Tobi gets ejected off the high ground there by IDK. I like it. Michelle, though, instantly booped off as well. Michelle, hey, how's it going? What's up? If you can get the T-Mech on Michelle, Godspeed's going to have a field day. Not have to worry about it. Oh, what a shadow, what a stun. Chucks the grab out, gets it off. Both grabs in play. The trance is on both sides as well, keeping everybody up and healthy. But we did get a D-Mech on Michelle. Michelle's working on getting that mech back, though.
A little too high there. He's got the shatter. He got Marvel around the corner. No finish, but Munchkin out of position. Spark on the verge.
You lost Fitz as well. Falling apart here for the Seoul Dynasty at the very end. It's looking like the Spark will succeed, will find victory. 3-1, and they secure the final spot in the playoffs next week. Well-deserved. I mean, they're well-deserved work.
Wasn't an easy schedule for him, and again, a play-in match against one of the most veteran teams in all of Overwatch League, and all of Overwatch history, really. All the guys on Seoul have been playing forever. And to clutch it out, to beat Seoul, get your way into the playoffs, no big deal. You just have to play London next.
Just have to play London. It's 2018 season of Overwatch League champions. Hoisted the trophy on the main stage in the Barclays Center last year in New York. But yeah, London. Bit of work to do there as well. Curious to see which London shows up for the playoffs.
Some nice respect there from Jaehong to his counterparts there. A lot of these guys look up to Jaehong, the godfather of flex supports and support play in general. So it's always nice to beat your mentors, and then when Jaehong, just being the class act human being he is, it makes it all the sweeter.
Yeah, Jaehong, total baller. And he's bringing the hair back too. I think that's a big part of the reason why Seoul, we've seen that uptick in the play. Hair was getting a bit flat, lacking some volume. Hair is good again, but let's go ahead and hand it over to Emily for an interview with one of our winners.
Thank you guys so much. I'm standing here with Gushui. Congratulations to the Hangzhou Spark for clinching that final spot in the Stage 2 playoffs. Gushui, how are you feeling right now? This is the Spark's first time getting into playoffs. 首先恭喜你们又胜利了，这是闪电首次进入阶段复赛，现在是不是很感动？
很激动，很开心，而且这是我们第一次进阶段赛，而且我口尾数也是第一次中国人进阶段赛。
I'm extremely emotional, feeling really good about making to playoffs. This is our first time, and this is also the first time that a Chinese gamer has also gotten into playoffs. So your first match next week would be against the London Spitfire, and they're a pretty formidable opponent too. So how confident are you guys going into that first match? 那么下一场比赛，你们第一场会是伦敦。那么他们其实也蛮强的，你有信心吗？
我有信心打伦敦，我觉得我们阶段赛至少4强吧。
4强。I'm very confident in going against London next week, and I have a feeling that we're going to make it really far, at least to top 4. All right, well, thank you so much, Gushui, and back to you guys, Semler and Hex.
Happens to all of us. Happens to all of us.
It's never happened to me. Not once, never.
You have never messed up a player's name?
Nope, not once, not never. That's why I like players with simple names.
Like Gushui.
I like Gushui.
Like Guksu. So, there we go. Player of the match brought to you by Open by HP.
he brought it on all the heroes too. His Winston play was so good. Reinhardt play started really turning it on Shatter. I think that was the big question with Gushua, right? His Winston play, we know. We know how good it is. We've seen it against the best players in the world. You're seeing it again here. Was his Reinhardt going to be up to snuff for this team? And I think it was, absolutely, as the day went on, too. I mean, he was hitting shatter after shatter. Hit a shatter at the end to close it out onto his rival as well. Knocked the other main tank down. So the complete package as a player, Gushue.
Oh, he's an absolute monster. And he's really starting to live up to it. But the thing is that the rest of the team, it seems like they're finally starting to hit their stride along with him.
Yep.
He's the MVP this time around. But I mean, IDK could have been a strong case for him.
Bebe.
Just so sick.
Anytime
Bebe as well.
Anytime we got his POV, you're just hearing headshots. And he clutched it out against one of the best Zenyatta's ever to play in Jaehong, got him across. So could have gone to anybody. Let us take a look at your Stage 2 playoff brackets. The 1 seed Shock will take the 8 seed Dragons. Spitfire, why are they the 2 seed? Well, we have divisions. Winning your division gets you a seed. You win, right? So they're the 2 seed.
But Hex, what does that mean when it looks at the standings? Because it looked like that they were the 3rd seed.
They're not. They're not, trust me. Titans will be your 3rd seed because they did not win their division. Then we have Gladiators XL, which should be a good one. 2 teams reeling off of recent losses. And Spark Spitfire, you know, which London's going to show up? This is a London team that lost to Chengdu. Spark can play DPS.
What's going to be really interesting is, like, do we get the rematch between Shock and Titans in the semifinals?
Yeah.
And then, who goes up against them in the grand final? It's going to be nuts, and I'm sure we're going to hear some discussion about it coming up next on Watchpoint. Guys, do not go anywhere. We've got the post show coming up right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.
Reppin' 82, I'm in Salt City. My head to toe, new skin like pedicure.
You better bow down. I think you better bow down.
Огонь по готовности. Огонь по готовности.
Good evening and welcome back to another edition of the Watchpoint Post Show live from the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles. I'm your host Malik Forte, joined tonight by Zoe, Brand, Monte Cristo, and what some might call a super special guest. It's Super from the San Francisco Shock. What's up, man? I imagine you're feeling pretty golden today, right?
Yeah, I actually am feeling quite golden.
Indeed. Well, welcome back to the Post Show. You've been here before, and congrats on that huge win and the perfect stage.
Thank you.
How are you feeling about this, man? The perfect stage. What was going through your head after you won it?
So actually, well, not after I won, but before we played the game, our coaches, like, they kept telling us that, like, they didn't actually care about the perfect stage, and then the management as well. But obviously they cared because they kept bringing it up. So like they were like more worried about it than we were. So
just a little bit more added pressure to the match, Well, we had a great day here in the arena. Records were broken, and the playoff bracket is set. So much happened, but I've got to know what everybody learned today. So Zoe, we're going to start with you. What have you learned?
What did I learn today? Well, you can go undefeated in a stage. It's actually possible to not drop a single map, which I think is bonkers. I actually did not think. Yeah. We learned so much together today, really.
What about you, Brent?
I learned that it's just reaffirmed in my mind that I'm just a god-tier analyst, the
okay.
Oracle, the Brent G. I go by many names, many predictions right today. Predicted Toronto. Didn't predict Washington, but we'll scratch that. I was an outlier. The last game of the day, predicted that one as well. Predicted Hangzhou. Just across the board, just fantastic personality and analyst.
You throw enough darts at the board, you're bound to hit the bullseye at some point.
I get most of them, baby. I get most of them.
I learned today that Brent is actually not a god-tier analyst, that he picks primarily based on underdogs and team colors, and sometimes even a blind squirrel finds a nut.
All right. Well, Super. Savage. Super, what about you, man?
Well,
you certainly learned something.
I learned that I can hate Sombra more than I previously did. So, I thought, like, there actually isn't a limit to how much you can despise something. Believe it or not. Like, you might think you're at that place with something, but you can keep going, trust me.
I know, that's where I try to get the fans in relation to me. So.
You're doing great, actually.
I know, thanks.
That's theoretic, as a matter of fact. All right, well, we've waited long enough. You heard that the Shock completed the perfect stage today. We're calling it the golden stage, but let's check out how they did it. It took skill, extreme mental fortitude, superiority in the neutral, and concentrated power of will. The Dragons did not make this easy, and though this game was a 4-0 in favor of the Shock, this was some damn good Overwatch. It pretty much felt like a playoff game.
Yeah. So out of all the maps today, which was the one that you thought you guys were more likely to win, I guess? Because you guys are strictly, like, you were scrim partners.
Yeah, we did play them a bit. We actually thought we were going to lose King's Row because, we thought we were going to win King's Row, but in the match, that's actually when I had, like, the most worry, I guess, because just I don't like Sombra. I'm telling you, I could go on about it for ages and ages, but
we have time.
I can't stand it, and that's all that they ran, and it just makes me very upset.
Why can't you?
Because I think that as a main tank, there's not much that you can do to like play against the Sombra. Like, you have to rely so much on your team, and then you can't. You don't have that much impact as you would, like, if you didn't play against the Sombra.
So what I'm hearing is your team didn't do a good enough job to not make you angry.
Actually, I'm very upset with them. Maybe this game will go over the water
right here.
What was going through your head when Ding whiffed that EMP?
Yeah, so I was like under the arch, and I didn't actually like know what happened because all I knew was like Malta's above me, and then I just saw like the EMP just through the wall. I was like, all right, well, that's cool, I guess. Now we win the game, and we did. So.
Did you expect them to actually make it so competitive since you were sprint partners?
Yeah, because I do think that they're probably one of the better teams right now, like one of the better teams in playoffs actually. So I definitely expect them to play as well as they did. Yeah.
You guys got them first.
Yeah, we did.
That's gonna feel nice, man. It's one of the most exciting. This is a good way to end the stage. One of the most exciting matches we've had. How would this one rank as far as pressure goes to the stage playoffs against Vancouver? Of course, the stakes are a little bit higher for that one. But I mean, these are your scrim partners.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, like to hype up the perfect stage or the golden stage, whatever it's being called. But I think for us, the most important thing to us was just getting the win. I mean, obviously the record's nice, but we just wanted to not lose. So.
I think most teams don't want to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You all have that in common, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, well, while they've been on a historic run, the Shock have been putting up some insane numbers. But Zoe, there was one stat in particular that stood out to you, right?
Yeah, actually. So I was trying, you know how we always like look at stats to like maybe find a weakness in the players or in the teams in general. And one thing stood out when I was glancing over yours, and that was that you guys actually, like, your chance of winning a team fight after dying first is higher than your rate of dying first in the first place.
Wait, we're kind of clean,
like
actually.
that doesn't even make sense. You're the only team who ever achieved that. What makes you guys so good at like this crisis management?
I don't know. Maybe we're just. I don't know. Maybe we're just good.
Maybe. I think I tend to agree with that. So what happens? You're one man down. What happens in your comms? Like how do you manage that?
We kind of have like preset ideas what we want to do. So like even if like someone like feeds or if someone gets picked off, like we still try to go through with that plan because we know like we practice it and it's still able to be done. So.
All right. Well, it's working out great
Yeah,
so
that's
far.
true.
So
That's
keep
true.
that one going.
All right, Super. You're a freak beast player.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're benching
I agree.
500 pounds on a regular basis.
course,
What's your
of
squat
course.
looking like these days?
About 900 kilograms, by the way.
Understandable. Pretty good. What's your vertical leap? 40 inches, roughly?
We've actually hit 47 recently.
I like it. But there was one play in particular that we were taking a look at
All
that
right.
impressed everyone here,
Let's see
including myself. Let's see it. Roll the tape. Look at this bubble. Straight up into the air. Perfectly landed. What's going through your mind when you're making a big brain play like this, huh?
So I remember I jumped up in the sky. I forget if the Mercy was low or the Farah was low, but I went to go chase one of them, and then I saw the Farah going lower for the barrage, so I stopped moving forward, and then I just put the bubble on her and encapsulated her.
Another day
Kind
in
of
the
like I was
office.
catching a... Never mind, I don't think I can say that. I think I might get copyright there. I don't want to get you guys in trouble.
Just throw it out. We're not on Disney.
Nah, I think we'll be okay there.
Oh, yeah.
I love you.
Such a sick play. Such a sick play.
I got nothing more to say.
All right.
So what do you have to respond to that?
All right, we do have to talk a little bit about the rematch. Obviously, you just beat the Shanghai Dragons. They will, as a result, be playing you in the first round of the playoffs. And I was listening to your comms a little bit. We touched on your hate earlier. You were, in fact, calling them Sombra abusers during that match, among many other words that I can't repeat. So
Right.
what is your expected result in that rematch? What do you want to fix going into it?
Well, real quick, I just want to clarify because you say Sombra abuser. I just think it's kind of a crutch. I'm going to be honest. If you use Sombra, you're just admitting that you're an inferior 3-3 and you need to cheese someone to a victory.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that.
So isn't goats a crutch then too?
No, actually, it's not. It's not a crutch because goats actually requires teamwork. And Sombra, you just EMP and win the fight.
Okay, fair
so
enough,
I can't respect that much. I'm going to be completely real with you.
I like where you're going with this. So on your rematch, what do you want to improve on? Where do you think you can do better?
I think we actually didn't do that great of a job of minimizing Sombra, which is why I'm a little bit still upset about it. I'll be completely honest. So
whose fault was
Can't
it?
tell.
I'm going to go ahead and say it was Moth's fault. Just because I don't like Moth that much. I'm going to be honest. So we're going to go back into practice. We're going to clean up our play, and we're going to make sure that the Sombra gets less value than she did today.
Okay, I like it.
And there you go.
And you're gonna
Right, Moth stepped it up.
3 of them, I guess.
Lovely,
Round.
lovely. Well, Super, thank you so much for joining us again.
Of course,
and congratulations again, bro.
Thank you, thank
we'll
you.
see you in the playoffs next week. But guys, coming up, we'll see how the rest of our playoff bracket came together. And a little later on in the show, we'll be joined by IDK from the Hangzhou Spark. Don't go anywhere. More Watch Point coming up.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
welcome back to the Watchpoint Post Show. The last matchup today would decide our final playoff spot. Win, and you're in. If there's one thing that could be determined from what we saw in this match, is that both teams wanted to punch their ticket to the Stage 2 playoffs. Ryu Jae-hong and the Dynasty struck first at Lijiang before Guxue and the Spark painted the town pink.
I think the first half of this match really did go the way I think a lot of us were expecting. We thought it was going to be very close between these two teams. But as the second half, things started to fall off a little bit for Seoul, which I'm honestly disappointed in, because I'm one of those people, they have high expectations of Seoul. You know, you're representing Korea, which is the mecca of esports, if you will. You're already putting up, I think, better results than you did today.
I guess what's interesting to me is that Seoul has now lost back-to-back matches running the 3-3 mirror primarily. Of course, the standard strategy, but I think for Seoul, the justification for putting Marvel in and Fitz in is theoretically that they are stronger at that 3-3.
Right.
So if you're going to not be a playoff team playing the 3-3, maybe play Fleta and Fisher.
Maybe put your heavy hitters back there.
Slide that idea right in there.
I mean, to be fair though, like on the second to last as well as the last map, if you looked at the statistics, if you looked at the damage done as well as the healing and the kills they got or the elims, it was still very close. So it could have still gone either way. I just think it kind of turned into a more of a brawly scenario, and I do think that Spark is a little bit better off when it turns into those kind of moments.
Definitely say Guxue, this guy in the skins right now, he warmed up towards the tail end of the match. He was feeling it a lot more. Early on, I was screaming when I was trying to gather footage in map 2 to make my stake and claim him as my MVP, because he was just feeding his brains out. But he turned it around.
You weren't really sold on him anymore.
Your oracular abilities came through again. You could just see past halftime.
It's unbelievable. And then he did end up earning his MVP. He became player of the match, or Omen player of the match. So, hats off to him. And I mean, this is the one issue I have with Hangzhou, is just why do they need these entire series to warm up? Why can't you just go out the gates playing like this?
If I'm going off what you... Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Well, if I'm going off of what you guys have been saying all day, it looks like the Dynasty have a little bit of a dilemma on their hands. Do they want to activate Ryu Jae-hong and keep this lineup, or do they want to put their heavy hitters Fleta and,
Fisher
back in?
That other guy, yeah. We haven't even seen him for so long.
I haven't seen him in so long.
What is his name?
Yeah, that's where we're at. Well, like we said, with that win, the Spark grabbed the final Stage 2 playoff spot and will face off against the London Spitfire on Thursday. The Gladiators then take on NYXL and the Titans and Fuel finish off the quarterfinals. This is a stacked playoff. So, guys, how are you feeling about this bracket? Pretty entertaining?
Yeah. One match in particular that I'm looking forward to is the Gladiators New York. I think that is the big one. Boom. Fist bumping on that one.
Wow,
there you go. Fist bumps all around. But I think this has... Sorry.
No, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Sorry. Oh, I'm ruining it.
Left me hanging.
But I think this has the potential to be one of the best matches of the day.
Yeah.
I see you both grinning at me now. Because, I mean, right now, New York, they just seem to be slipping a little bit. Gladiators, this is going to answer a lot of questions as to where they stand right now as a team. Because it's like you mentioned earlier, Monty, that line is blurring right now between the third best team. It's a lot of questions will be answered with that match.
But see, I also think that as long as you have London in a bracket, everything goes.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
But London is always a bit of a coin toss. I'm gonna be real here. Every time I feel like they got it, like they finally got a grasp on the meta, like they're on a peak, and then they just like dribble down again. I don't know what's going on with them sometimes.
Yeah. And vice versa. We came into last year's season playoff. They were the 5th seed, and we were saying no. Don't discount this team. They can still win everything. It's like when they peak so hard that you never know when they're just going to show up and win everything.
Can never count the reigning champions out.
Exactly.
What's the likelihood that we might see 2 consecutive back-to-back first-round exits for the NYXL?
I think pretty good. I think Brent's right. It's hard to gauge that because the Gladiators are also just coming off of a loss versus the Uprising. I think that's going to be the most interesting match. I don't think it's going to be the best match from an objective Overwatch perspective, but it might be the closest.
It's crazy to even think it's a possibility, though, at this point, with the way these two teams have been playing. Well, the Stage 2 playoffs may have been out of reach for the Washington Justice and the Boston Uprising, but each team came into today trying to finish the stage on a high note. Early on in this one, it was all Boston. We got to see RCK flex with his specialist muscle on May, and after going down 2-0 at the half, Washington needed to make prompt adjustments to get back into the game. And lucky for the Justice fans, that's exactly what they did.
Interesting that they're pulling out the Mei. I mean, I believe Monty, you said during the halftime, it's interesting, and you think that Mei is one of the more underutilized characters.
Plus, it's Cinco de Mayo, so you got
Hey, I like it. You got Zoe. Good one.
I know. I'm done. I did love what we saw from Boston on Anubis. I think they played really well. I love Blase. He went pretty much uncontested on that Pharah for the beginning of it. I think after their attack round, he was at around 40 to 50% of his entire team damage. They really struggled to pick out the biggest threat on that team. So they really didn't know where to focus their power on, as there was a threat coming from everywhere already.
Yeah, and this was honestly such a weird series because Boston 2-0 up at the half. We're so used to Boston just kind of pulling it back at the halftime to getting that pep talk, but they did kind of just fall to pieces towards the end of this and just managed to come back into it. Now, was it the cleanest Overwatch? No. Was it the best Overwatch? No. But it was still a game nonetheless. Washington, they picked up another win, which is always good, for them. It's going to make it, a little bit easier for them, I guess, if they get a bit of a momentum behind them to sort of move into stage 3 with that as well. But, Boston, I'm a little bit disappointed because I do expect a lot more from this squad.
Yes.
Maybe I just got a lot of feelings right now for the coaching staff of this team because they are so fantastic. It's a little bit disappointing to see that they kind of drop the ball like this.
Yeah, definitely.
If Bran is disappointed.
Well, I'm kind of with him. I definitely
getting called out.
I have high expectations for the Boston Uprising as well. I believe they've been improving drastically over the course of the season so far. But I have a question about the Justice for you guys. What do you think is the next piece of the puzzle for them to, make themselves a true contender?
I'd look at the main tank here.
Yeah.
Maybe make a switch.
I'd be looking at the off tank. Sam would be gone if I was the coach of this team. He'd be piecing it.
I think generally, their tank line may or may not be an issue here.
I mean, look at one available player who plays off tank, who's currently on a bench, who is Korean. Zumba. Zumba for Seoul right now. He's just chilling there. It would be a shame to see him leave that team. McGravy as well. There's a lot of very good off tank.
Why are you guys not wanting Fissure on
off tank?
No.
I
want Fissure on the Defiance. That's where I want Fissure to go. If he's not going to play on Seoul, I want him on Toronto.
Why Toronto?
Because I think that they're very close to becoming a good team, and I think their main problem right now is Yakpung, and I think if you put Fissure on there, they also lack shot calling in general, and they adapt poorly, so Fissure, go to Defiant. Also, reunion with Bishop from the Spitfire and from Kongdu.
That's a good point.
He's the coach.
It's a good point, And speaking of Toronto, let's not forget, we led off the day with the Defiant getting their first 4-0 in the Overwatch League, getting back to 500 and jumping into the cutoff for the overall season playoffs. And as you can see here, that 4-0 very impressive over the Paris Eternal, who I believe they're strong. They've been previously a strong Ghost team. Been a little bit iffy lately.
There's some ups and downs in this match. There's the reason there's no highlights playing, but Paris is... I can't say anything other than that I am also disappointed in this team. Maybe I'm too struck on the fact that this is, mainly a European team. Got these European players. There's a lot of pride for me, at least, for this region. And to see them not live up to this potential that they've been spouting off that they've got the entire time, it's a little bit upsetting, I
was happy. Happy is a bit of an overstatement, I guess. But I was feeling okay about some of the changes we saw from the Defiant. I think it's good that they cleaned some stuff up. I feel like Yakpung has been dying a lot in the past. I really think that looked a little bit cleaner. They managed to keep the tank line alive a lot more, and it kind of looked a bit more coordinated in their approach as a team. So not mad at that.
Right. Minus the questionable Reinhardt charge.
Well, there was that. Every Reinhardt gets one per game, I would say. You got to be fair.
Well, guys, coming up, IDK from the Hangzhou Spark will join us, and we'll see if we can get him a little bit of redemption. Don't go anywhere. More Watch Points coming up.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back to the Watchpoint Post Show. I am so excited to welcome our next guest. You may know him from Chinese Contenders, and you definitely know him from the Hangzhou Spark. Welcome to the show, IDK. Dude, and thank you very much to Danny Lim, who's here for translations. Thank you very much, man. How you doing, IDK?
어떠신가요? 지금 여기 오신 소감 말씀 부탁드릴게요.
이 자리 되게 긴장 안 되고 편하게 할 줄 알았는데 생각보다 긴장이 많이 되네요, 이 자리가.
I thought I wasn't gonna be nervous at all, and I thought I was just gonna be here for fun, but it's actually very nerve-wracking.
No fun on this desk.
Don't worry, this is not an Overwatch League match. You can relax. It's all good, no pressure. All right, so a lot of people don't know you're a South Korean player, but you actually played 2 seasons in Chinese Contenders, and actually won 2 seasons in Chinese Contenders. So I would like to know, how important is it for you to see Chinese teams and Chinese Overwatch League's teams having some success here in the league?
중국 컨텐더스에서 2시즌 다 우승을 하고 좀 오버워치 리그로 오시게 됐는데, 이렇게 중국 팀들이 지금 오버워치 리그에 와서 이렇게 좋은 모습, 굉장히 좋은 경기력을 보여주고 잘하는 모습을 보면 좀 소감이 어떠신가요? 좀 기분이 어떠세요?
네, 그 모든 팀 컨텐더스든 북미 컨텐더스든 이제 약간 중국 컨텐더스 좀 약하다라는 평가가 되게 많았는데, 네, 저랑 같이 했던 친구들과 저희가 이제 좀 더 보여준 것 같아요. 중국 컨텐더스도 약하지 않다라는 걸.
A lot of people think that Chinese contender is a little weaker compared to rest of the contenders, like Contenders Korea or NA. But I feel like just having all the Chinese contenders coming into Overwatch League is really showing everyone that Chinese contenders isn't that weak, and everyone is really, they have the skills.
That's right. You guys are valid. I like it. All right. So for the first time, we have Chinese teams in our stage playoffs. How does it feel to be a part of one of those teams?
Can you repeat that question one more time? Sorry.
No. So for the first time, we have Chinese teams in our stage playoffs. So how does it feel to be a part of one of those teams?
이제 처음으로 이번 스테이지 2에서 스테이지 2 프로브에서 중국 팀이 프로브를 진출하게 됐는데, 그거에 대해서는 좀 어떻게 생각을 하세요? 좀 기분이 어떻게 좋으신지, 아무래도 좋을 것 같은데 소감 말씀 부탁드릴게요.
저희가 스테이지 1 때도 플레이오프를 되게 갈 수 있다고 마음을 먹고 노력을 했는데, 이제 생각보다 무대가 쉽지 않았고 저희도 실수가 되게 많아서 무대에 적응하는 데 되게 오래 걸렸던 것 같은데, 그래도 스테이지 2 때는 다들 화이팅하는 분위기로 풀업에 진출했다는 거에 저는 의미가 되게 있는 것 같아요. 근데 하나 아쉬운 게 있다면 상하이랑 같이 간 거.
So for us at least, we kind of thought that we could have made it into stage 1 playoffs, but just getting used to the stage and getting used to Overwatch, it kind of took a lot of time for us and effort, and so it really feels good to be in the stage 2 playoff. And one thing that I want to say is it could have been better if it was just us, but Shanghai Dragons is also part of the stage 2 playoffs.
Don't want to share the spotlight. I love it.
Yeah, I've got a question. So now that you're coming back, but you're coming to America now, but you're still playing on a Chinese team. We have 4 members of the All-Star game that are Chinese now. What is the passion like for the Chinese fans? Because now you've played in China and you've played here, but you're playing on the Chinese team. What has their reaction to your play been?
쉽게 말씀드리자면 이제 뭐 중국 쪽에서 지금 올스타에 들어간 선수들도 4명이나 있고, 지금 중국 선수들이 굉장히 잘하고 있는데 중국 팬분들이 어떻게 지금 반응하고 호응을 하는지 궁금하시다고 하네요.
저도 이제 중국 팬들과 많은 소통을 하진 않지만, 이제 저희 같은 팀은 크리스알이나 구슈나 이제 저희 중국 보드진들이 말씀하기에는 인기가 지금 장난 아니고, 그래도 오버워치를 많이 좋아하는 것 같아서 저도 한편으로는 그래도 좋죠. 다들 좋아하는 분위기니까.
So IDK really doesn't have that much interaction with his fans, his Chinese fans, but from what he's heard from players like Gushui and Crystal and the Chinese staff on his team, the hype is real. Everyone really loves Overwatch and loves the teams, so it just feels really good.
Your match today against Seoul was one of the biggest in your career so far, at least in the Overwatch League. So was there any additional pressure with this match, with the stage 2 playoffs being on the line? And how did you deal with that as well?
오늘 좀 굉장히 좀 중요한 경기기도 하고, 또 오늘 또 굉장한 경기력을 좀 많이 보여주신 것 같은데 좀 어떠셨나요? 왜냐하면 뭐 프로업 진출도 걸려 있던 거였고, 또 서울도 아무래도 좀 약팀이 아니기 때문에 좀 긴장을 하셨다든지 좀 그 경기가 좀 어떠셨나요?
저희도 오늘 이번 스테이지 2 대진을 보면서 무조건 서울이 변수가 있겠다라고 생각을 했었는데, 오늘 첫 세트부터 역시 서울은 잘했었고, 이제 저희가 중요한 경기라서 더 긴장한 것도 있었지만 그걸 이겨냈기 때문에 저희가 이겼다고 생각해요. 저희는.
Right, so starting off, even before going into the match, we kind of knew that Seoul had something up their sleeves, and for sure they did, and that's why they took the first map. And but I think at the end of the day, we were able to win because even though Seoul played better, we were a little better and we were stronger.
All right. Now, you used to play with Marvel as well as Michelle. What was it like for you to go up against former teammates? Did that maybe add some incentive to win that match?
아무래도 좀 이번 서울과의 경기에서 예전 팀원들 두 분이 있었잖아요. 좀 그것 때문에 오늘 경기에 조금 더 열심히 하겠다. 좀 그런 동기부여가 됐다고 생각을 하시나요?
저는 리그 입성할 때부터 이제 전 팀원이었던 애틀란타의 어스터, 상하이의 DM, 서울의 마블 뮤지션한테는 절대 지고 싶지 않다고 팀원들한테 얘기했기 때문에 일단 상하이랑 서울은 이겼고 이제 애틀란타만 이기면 저는 만족할 것 같습니다.
So even before joining the league, I told all my teammates that I have a couple former teammates, such as I can't. 누구라고요?
애틀란타의 어스터,
Atlanta Ulster,
이제 상하이의 DM,
Shanghai Dragons CM,
서울 다이너스티 이제 마블 미셸,
Seoul Dynasty's Marvel and Michelle, and just going in, I just told them that I didn't want to lose to them, and I beat 2 of the 3, so we just have Atlanta left. So
all right, one more to go. I like it.
Getting him a little bit of redemption. All right, so you had a pretty huge play against Boston back in week 2. Let's take a look at that.
I'm feeling unstoppable. Oh, this is my jam.
Oh, so good, so good. So I got to know, how calculated was that, or was this just you being at the right place at the right time?
저게 좀 설계가 된 플레이였는지 아니면 좀 되게 좀 운이 좋아서 좀 좋은 타이밍에 좋은 자리에 있어서 저런 플레이가 나온 건지 어떻게 된 건가요?
이게 어차피 비비는 싸움이라서 저는 제가 굳이 거점에 안 밟아도 팀원들이 밟을 수 있겠다. 그러면 내가 할 수 있는 최대한의 변수가 뭔가를 생각을 해서 그때 생각한 저의 판단은 다시 돌아오는 자리를 낙살시키는 거였고 이제 저는 자리를 잡았으니 거점을 밟아서 아나가 이제 구슈가 그때 아나를 외치고 있는 상황에서 저는 아나를 봤는데 저도 모르게 에임이 헤드로 가서 저렇게 아나까지 잡은 것 같아요. 운이 좋았던 것 같아요. 아나 잡은 거.
Good luck. Have fun with that one, Danny.
All right, I'm gonna go step by step. So because this was overtime, IDK knew that even though he's not on the point, there's gonna be his teammates on the point to fight against the team. So in his best judgment at that time was the Zarya was out of the games and she's gonna be respawning. So he just hid there, and at that time his best judgment was to boop and kind of kill the Zarya. And at that time, Gushue was shouting Ana. So he looked at Ana, and that's where I left up. I will ask him right now. 아나 아까 구슈에가 아나를 외치고 있었을 때.
네.
그 다음에 어떻게 됐다고요?
그때 저도 이제 아나를 봐야 되니까 아나를 바라보면서 마우스를 갖다 댔는데 그 장면이 딱 헤드 4대였던 것 같아요. 헤드가 4대로 간 거죠.
헤드가 4대가 뭐예요?
루시오가 보복 4발 나가잖아요. 그 4발 다 헤드로 갔다 이거죠. 운이 좋게.
Okay. So the first part of the question, yes, he did. That wasn't a luck. That was planned. And then when Gushue was yelling Ana, he turned around after he booped off the Zarya. He looked at Ana, and then he just shot the 4 shots from the Lucio, and he landed the headshots on the opponents.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was luck. The other part, the boop, wasn't a luck.
Okay, all right.
This was one of the most clutch moments we've seen from a Lucio
Yeah, it was
play.
great.
It was insane.
It was.
I mean, being able to read that you needed to take out the Zarya because they were coming back in with the grab, just unreal play from IDK. So very Gosu.
브랜 선수가 말씀했듯이 굉장한 고수시래요. 왜냐하면 또 원래 그 자탄을 가지고 있었고 자리아가 그거를 이제 밀어내가지고 자리아를 일단 없앤 게 큰 득이 된 것 같고 굉장한 슈퍼플레이라고 인정을 다들 하신다고 합니다.
Thank you.
It was great though. It was a game-saving play. You know what? We saw on the stream of yours recently that you were a little upset that you didn't get your MVP moment after you did that amazing play in that match. So you didn't get to do that post-game interview, but you were mad Crystal got it instead of you. Is that true? Were you a little bit irritated?
그때 이 플레이를 한 다음에 그 포스트매치 인터뷰를 크리스탈 선수가 하셨나요?
네, 맞아요.
네, 그래서 아무래도 좀 스트림 이런 게 좀 이렇게 다들 얘기가 들어왔나 봐요, 리그 쪽에. 그래서 좀 굉장히 좀 섭섭했다라는 좀 발언을 했다고 들었는데 그게 사실인가요?
저도 솔직히 메인 힐러가 이렇게 눈에 띄지도 않고 저도 그래서 그냥 포기하고 있었는데 보스선전만큼은 끝나자마자 저는 얘기했거든요. 팀원들한테 인터뷰다 그랬거든요. 왜냐면 저는 한번 해보고 싶어가지고. 근데 크리스탈이 첫 출전이라서 어쩔 수 없이 양보해서 좀 많이 섭섭했죠. 서운하고.
TLDR, yes, I was a little sad because, as a support player, you're going into the match, you know that you're not going to get that much spotlight. But at that Boston match, it was a really good play by me or by IDK. So he did feel a little sad, but at the same time, was Gushwei's a debut stage as well, so he just kind of let it go.
I see. We get it, man. You were Taylor Swift, and Crystal was like Kanye West, come in and take me a moment. Not cool. Well, we decided to give you a shot at redemption. Coming up after the break, IDK will get that MVP moment he hoped for. Don't go anywhere. More Watchpoint coming up soon.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Get aggressive. Goucher stuns.
Colin hits it again.
Again, over the edge. The whip shot gets rid of him. They have no graviton to use once more. That's been sat waiting for so long. But if Austin Uprising are going to have a chance to use it at this rate, Goucher returns to the fight. Stand up. Now in overtime, and Hangzhou are in control. This is unbelievable. Blase removed. RCKT suited. He's in mini diva form trying to stay alive. But Crystal now and Co inside the graviton surge. The Hangzhou spark. Unbelievable. I can't believe this has happened.
Oh, what a win.